I saw the action out there tonight. What you guys need is a little bit of firepower.
Well,
I'm a weapons designer. I've got what you need.
all right. We'll come back. We'll visit all of you people later. Thank you, sir.
I don't live here. I'm here for the ladies. No. Here, take my card. My name's Heller. Say it with me. Heller.
All right.
You shovel better than any man I've ever known.
This is Film Sack. Oh, sure.
Hello and welcome to Film Sack. This is Film Sack, mining the very depths of film entertainment for all mankind. This is episode 611 for Sunday, August 6th, 2023. I'm Scott Johnson, joined today by Brian. I heard he lost his Pepsi endorsement. Dunaway.
No, let me just rip it off my shoulder and toss it at you. Oh, hi. This week on Film Sack, it's no mystery as to how we amateur crime-fighting men tucked, rolled, and shoveled our way into Peacock's not-so-secret lair of star-powered action comedies from 1999 to take down the evil genius who thought to give Pee Wee Herman flatulence powers. Pull my finger. Ah. Anyway, damn, I miss you, Paul Rubens, already.
Yeah.
Anywho, if I ever had to pick a superhero power, and let's face it, I got asked this in every job interview since high school, and the correct answer is almost never invisibility. Almost never. So I'd have to pick VHS Vigilante with the power to be kind and rewind. When the shit goes sideways, I just rewind the tape or fast forward the obscene parts of life or pause on the good stuff. My only weakness? Living in the past. Now, excuse me while I go get into my Blockbuster blue shirt and khakis. I got a city to save. Randy? Only shooting stars break the old. Yeah, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. You'll hear more later from Ibbott. Anyway.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah, this was the era of, hey, can Smash Mouth be in our movie? That was the thing.
Yeah, and this is the first one to do it, right?
Yep.
It was.
Yeah. It beat Shrek like by a year or something like that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Also with us, Randy. His superpower is zits and farting. Jordan.
Hello, Scott, Brian.
Randy.
Thank you all for coming to our tryout. I've got your applications here. Okay. First up, we have Johnson. Your superpower is drawing funny things and causing entertainment companies to issue frivolous strikes against content that you post. Okay. Dunaway. It says here that you're a jokester and a contrarian with questionable bodily health and a world-famous ability to pronounce common words in unexpected ways. Okay.
Wow.
Let's see. Ibbott, see here. Your superpower is answering trivia questions and riding a bicycle. What? Riding could be something. Riding a bicycle until your tummy hurts. Oh, damn it. Don't any of you know how to fight, like, at all?
Yeah.
These are all intellectual skills, and most of them aren't skills. Look,
Sure.
don't despair, my friends. You're all hired. You're head and shoulders better than the last guy. He showed up with a waffle iron and no better. What a loser.
I loved that guy.
Oh, poor Dane Cook.
I don't love Dane Cook at all, but I
like
love
the
the concept of the character. Yeah.
Dane Cook's best role.
Yeah, it might be. Let's finish out with Brian. Who doesn't walk around with her dad's head in a bag, Ibbott?
Oh,
All right. Well, Smash Mouth. Well done, Brian.
Yeah.
It's not
I
the
called
song
it.
It's not the song I chose.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Welcome to another song by Brian and the Cringe Tones. Here we go.
I love that.
I love this one.
Watching a 99 film called Mystery Men, filled with comedy stars of the time. The movie tanked, but one actor made me laugh, and her name was Garofalo. Her breakthrough was 94's Reality Bites, followed by the truth about cats and dogs. If the main character needed a sarcastic friend, she'd be played by Garofalo. Do you suppose it was her heart's desire, the female lead in Jerry Maguire instead of Zellweger in that role. It would have been her saying you had me at hello. Gruffalo. Gruffalo sits in her favorite chair and she gets all the work that she needs. And they call her up to do voiceover roles like the French woman Ratatouille. My favorite role of hers was Paula the Booker on HBO's Larry Sanders Show. And you can call her anything you like, but her name is Garofalo. Do you suppose it would have been her dream? The journalist in the movie Scream. Instead of Courtney Cox playing that part, it would have been her getting stabbed in the heart. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
For Scream 6. Garofalo.
Love it.
That's really good.
Applause. Hey, Cardi B, did you lip sync that or was that live?
Yeah.
No, I lip synced that. Are you
Okay,
kidding me?
good.
That's
Perfect.
so much.
Perfect.
I jammed so much information into that song.
Right? I was about to be really worried about your mental health.
I
if you were able
tried.
to
I
pull that
tried
off.
doing that one, like seeing if I could do it in one take, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, this
No
is
way.
not going to work. So
No
I
way.
did. I'm sorry, I did pre-record that one, but
Oh, no.
Oh,
whatever.
you're
I think
always
they love it.
allowed.
That was
Yeah, you can
great.
do whatever you want.
it allows me to do some embellishment. By the way, everything in there factual. She was almost the lead in Jerry Maguire.
Yep,
She was almost Courtney Cox's Gail Weathers in Scream, and she.
Gail Weathers has such a great character name.
That's right, and her name is Garofalo. There was some other fact in there. What was it?
It's definitely her name.
It's definitely
yeah.
a spoiler alert for Scream
nailed it.
6.
Sure.
Courtney Cox.
Oh
dies.
no, not spoilers for Scream 6.
She's the character
that's
that she played the character that Jerry on Seinfeld almost married in the show.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
'cause
I want
she
to know
was-
right away. Do you actually think she was the best thing in this movie?
No.
Or were you just singing?
It's
it?
hard
don't.
for me to say that Pee Wee wasn't, but yeah, she's the only one who made me laugh. Like it was
That's
a couple of her lines. The only times I laughed out loud during this movie
A lot of the
were
stuff
two things that Garofalo said.
Yeah, all these comedians were known for certain sticks, and they all brought their sticks. And so yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel
Okay.
like this is a movie that was written and then it was kind of like rewritten as they were making it. But
It was
written and the actors played the characters. Like I feel like there's a lot of people who could have played Invisible Boy. There's a lot of people who could have played any
better
of these
than
things.
Kale.
Yeah,
I don't think
and
so.
Ben Stiller was
better than
originally
Kel.
supposed to be the shoveler too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was his and Danny
There'll
DeVito
never
was
be
gonna
another. That is the one person you
Danny
can never
DeVito was gonna
replace.
be shoveler as well.
Yeah.
No. William H. Macy is the only shoveler. There's only one person that can never be replaced in
Yeah,
this film.
it
and
needs
that's
to be a
Macy's
very
portrayal.
dry, like Cracker Jack, good Boy Scout
Boy
dude.
Scouts.
Yeah.
Married to who's he married to?
I don't know her name.
What was the actress' name? She was fantastic.
Yeah,
too. I
she
loved
was
her-
great.
her role.
He's
back
the
and
only
look.
one with kids and all. I liked his
Yeah.
whole thing. William H. Macy, though, this had to have been
Jennifer
a little,
Lewis. Is that it?
weird because if you said to me, was this before or after Fargo, I would have said this was before, clearly, because after Fargo, why would you take any role like this? And no, he did Fargo and then did this. He rolled right into it. That's fine.
Well, my question was this before or after the Cooler? And I'm looking
Before, I
Oh,
believe.
this had to be before. Well, yeah, Cooler was in the 2000s.
Yeah, early aughts.
This is before the Cooler. Okay.
Get out, really?
Yeah, this is
I don't know.
before.
Yeah, that's. I'm sorry, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Before the Cooler. I was like, wait a minute. The way you said it was like, oh no, this was before the Cooler.
Wow.
That was
How did I
funny.
not recognize Jennifer Lewis? You know, you ever watch Blackish? She's
I did
Ruby
not.
in that. Yeah, I did
Oh,
not realize.
she's the
And Preacher's
grandma.
wife. Yeah. Wow. I did not. Wow. I didn't even recognize her.
Oh,
Okay.
weird.
Nope,
So
never seen it.
we'll let not Fletcher. This
Not
we usually
Fletcher.
get Scott Fletcher, but this is not Fletcher because we kind of
Not
squeezed this
Fletcher.
one in kind of last minute, so we didn't get the real Fletcher. So we got this
Right.
very poor alternative.
Mystery Men! A group of inept amateur superheroes must try to save the day when a supervillain threatens to destroy a major superhero and the city.
There it is. That's Mr.
I hate
L.
whoever this. Who'd you train this on?
This
I
is
hate whoever
trained.
it is.
It's trained on the guy who does Mario voiceover, and it's so horribly
I
not
would hate
good.
this person in real life.
Mystery
If this
Men.
is what AI turns into.
Yeah.
I know. Did he leave you a voicemail and that's what you trained him on? Or
No, I
trained
did
him
it on. I did it on a whole string of woohoo, yee, woohoo,
Wow.
like nothing but Mario noises, and the best it could do is this.
Mystery Men.
That's as good as it
If
gets.
this ends up being the default voice for AI, I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it.
I want. Are you
robot
kidding?
overlords.
I want Siri and the A word, all those things to start talking like that. It's like, hey, A word, could you please turn on my sprinklers? No, I don't want to turn on your sprinklers. Ah!
It's 48 degrees outside.
Kind of like Mickey Mouse meets. I don't know. It's horrible though.
It's pretty bad.
Mouse meets Billy Mays is
Yeah,
what that
that's
is.
it.
Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So when we, let this be a warning to everyone that when Fletcher can't, when we
Yeah.
do, we make a
Thanks a lot,
change.
Fletcher.
It's
Really.
not his fault.
Let this be a warning, most of all to Fletcher.
Yeah. But anyway, it is Mystery Men, and we chose it because we were looking for some Paul Rubin stuff that wasn't just straight up.
And
Hey,
people have
let's.
been requesting this in the community forever.
Oh yeah, long time. I was a big fan of this movie in '99. I thought it was great, but
Still am.
I was too.
I got some
Yeah.
issues with it this time around.
I feel like it held up. I actually
Wow.
I actually came away like, man, you could edit a couple of things out of this movie and it's actually great.
You probably edited a lot out of this movie because it's 2 hours long for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
I think
it's a little.
I think this movie actually benefits from being a superhero almost parody of sorts before superhero movies
And maybe that is the one
or good ones.
One thing that would have given it hope is if it had come out, if they had done something like this during the heyday of the MCU, during the first or second phase of the MCU when Marvel could do no wrong, this would have been ideal for that time. But at the time, I thought it was. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it then. For some reason, I bought the DVD. I don't know why.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was even less of a fan of it this time.
Really, most of its experience, or most of what informed this, was visually speaking, was like Batman from the '60s, and like some of the superhero movies I saw during the '80s.
Yeah, and it's really more the Batman, like the Tim Burton and the those have been the Batman, like the real superhero movies that we had gotten around this time were those. We hadn't gotten Iron Man yet or anything like that.
Yeah, we're only a year after Batman and Robin, I think, or a year or two.
Right. We didn't even know what CGI dinosaurs looked like yet, right?
We didn't. No.
We didn't know.
No, we did.
We were about to find out.
Well, we knew because '93 was.
We knew. Yeah, we knew.
Oh, 93.
Yeah. But here's
I keep wanting to make Jurassic Park a lot later than it was. I really do. I really want that to be late 90s.
It's got to be 2001, right? Nope.
No, 93, baby. So if I think you give somebody, you put this in the lap of like James Gunn, who knows how to take weird, obscure shit and turn it into something special. He could. This is a Dark Horse comic it's based on, so it's not really mainstream or known that well. What I liked about it then, I still like about it now, but where I've changed my opinion a bit is it's less of what I thought it was and more of what I had a problem with. And that is this. I love the concept, and the comic book is way more this way, even though there's a lot of other stuff like the flaming carrot is your main guy.
It was spun off from the flaming carrot.
Yeah, that was never they were never gonna put the character that
Bob Burton,
that what's his name plays. I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Frickin' Greg Kinnear, Captain Amazing. Greg Kinnear.
Okay. Oh, Captain Amazing.
That's basically in the comic anyway. What story is carried over? He's the flaming carrot in the comic, but the producers are like, well, that's never going to work. We can't.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
And also in this movie, Captain Amazing is your big trope bundle.
Yeah.
Like there's a ton of tropes around every little thing in this movie, but for some reason he is the trope of the amazing good guy who is willing to break the law and willing to sacrifice people in order to continue to have a villain.
Yeah.
And like that felt really flat to me, and I don't remember it.
I know why it does. I know why it does. It's because we have a better example of that. Homelander is that now, and Homelander is such a raw version of that it's like this is silly
version of it. Yeah.
But Greg Kinnear, did you think they I was maybe giving this too much credit, but man, Greg Kinnear's portrayal of Captain Amazing in this movie, I thought it was pretty good. I know
it's great when he's kind of negotiating for his life and he's like, all right, we'll just and he becomes the biggest coward. All right, we'll just turn me over to the authorities and we can pretend that you've been rehabilitated, and then you can destroy the city. Just save me. And that's I think when that character and when Greg Kinnear shines is that kind of pleading side of it.
And the movie throws the movie
whole-
throws these actors who aren't like actors. They're like stunt casting. It throws these people in with good actors. So like Greg Kinnear is a good actor, and it throws him together with Ricky Jay, who's just some magician.
Take that back.
I like
they have
little
such
jokes there, too.
incredible chemistry, right?
No,
Like,
what's
I feel
amazing
like
about
that's
Ricky Jay is that I'll play the line later, but he makes it. He's just he's his agent, right? And so
he's his agent. But Ricky Jay is so much more than just a magician.
Oh,
The
yeah,
dude.
no,
I mean, if you've never seen Magnolia, Ricky Jay is the whole narrator for that film.
Yeah,
and
he's amazing
sets
in
the
it.
tone of that thing so perfectly.
He's good, and he does a lot of stuff for that director, and he's also amazing in Deadwood. For the run, he was part of Deadwood. He was great in Deadwood.
Yes.
Ricky Jay is awesome.
Sadly passed away.
But you get what I'm saying, right? Like this movie has like Tom Waits, and it pairs him up with people like Ben Stiller and Jeanine Garofalo, who really, really know what they're doing, and they
got such
elevate
good
him.
chemistry.
They elevate him tremendously into a place that Tom Waits has no business.
Well, this
being.
is now we're getting to the part that bugs me, because what I loved about the movie then and still like about it now are the parts where these are just people who think they're cool and think they have powers, but there is no supernatural stuff going on.
There's two superheroes in this movie.
Yeah,
there's two people
I realize that, but like
genuinely have superpowers.
when you have her bowling ball bullshit.
Right.
That takes me out of this movie so hard because I'm just like, okay, that's a magical bowling ball now.
You really? That's like the thing that keeps me in.
It's not
like
at all. See, it's what ruins it. And at the end, how they all actually have powers, like that kid's actually invisible. F that. That's not what I came to this for. What I came to this for.
I just wish they would pick a lane and stay with it, right? Like, don't give me a Mr. Fury. Don't give me a bunch of characters that end up having powers. And I would argue that the bowler is like Thor, and the ball is Mjolnir. She's the only one who can control it, kind of thing.
So the Watchmen was huge about the time that the Flaming Carrot came along and started doing this Mystery Men spinoff from the Flaming Carrot. But it wasn't informed by it, but it was happening at the same time. And I think the fact that we have one real superhero, it's a really common story in X-Men and all comics with superheroes, especially, where one character is just a god essentially, and then you got a bunch of other people with smaller city level hero types.
Yeah,
right?
but I love the concept that they're mostly cosplaying, but their hearts are in the right place. That's where the movie's strongest for me. So Hank Azaria is a good example. Blue Raja's character, he is living in his mom's basement, literally.
He's so good.
He does this accent. He's such a stupid. It's so stupid, right?
I was so happy. I was thinking for some reason, wait, was that accent offensive? No, it wasn't. It was just a British guy.
No, it was amazing.
Fantastic.
It was amazing.
Just a feet British accent.
Yeah.
But then you have someone like the Spleen who has a legit superpower, and he demonstrates it in the very first scene he's in, right? He comes along and he's like, I can make those people across the room fall dead or whatever he does. And you're like, whoa. I mean, I realize that it's supposed to be funny. Like that's the only reason for this character is that he's funny. But like, I'm like, man, wait, are we in a universe where, like someone like the Shoveler can just be easily defeated by a guy farting supernatural farts?
Right. Shoveler and Blue Raja both are characters that just have high skill levels. Ben Stiller's character has overinflated his powers, but he still has powers. He's still super strong. We proved it later on.
That's my problem, because he's not the entire time, and then suddenly, see, it's the last third of that movie I would like to throw in the
This is all about trying to overcome the fact that they're trying to struggle. They're trying to get into. They're trying to break into the game.
I get it, but this is a more meaningful character experience if they just are kind of shitty, and then the end they still kind of win, and they're still shitty.
I actually disagree.
Otherwise, it becomes a Deus Ex Machina, right? Like, all of a sudden, Invisible Boy really is invisible. All of a sudden, Mr. Furious really does have some strength.
100% with you on that.
I like that.
This is Niles.
I think that's a positive.
And this is why you're a psycho, because this is like, I'll bet you liked it. I'll bet you liked it on.
That's why you're a psycho.
I'll bet when you watched Frasier, you liked it when Niles and Daphne finally got together. You probably liked that era, right?
Not necessarily. No, not really.
Okay.
That
To
was
me,
fine.
it's-
No,
to me,
I
it's
like
similar-
I like the fact that if they just had powers, so this movie is genuine and it has heart, and the reason why it has genuine and heart is because they don't have confidence, and if the only way to have powers and them to be effing up would be to make fun of them and go, they're stupid, they have powers, and they just can't do anything with them.
Yeah.
No, that would not make me feel empathy or love for these characters. What gives it heart is the fact that they're struggling, just like all of us struggle, and they're trying to overcome their own weaknesses, and that's their real weakness. Instead of kryptonite, like what Superman has, their weakness is their self-confidence in a lot of ways and strong leadership.
Yeah.
I think this is a great telling of how a superhero team comes together, and they do find leadership, and someone has to step up. This all stuff that's mirrored in like the X-Men with the power struggle of Storm and Cyclops and different people taking leadership roles. I think this is all really good.
No, I'm with you. I guess
we
I'm 100%
agree with you on what's good about the movie. We agree with you.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Well,
Totally
I'm
agree.
confused because Scott keeps saying,
Well, no, let me answer it then.
The whole time.
No, let
Hey.
me answer it then. Let me tell you what I actually mean, or let me refine my thought on this, because what you just said is I agree with. Like, that is the nemesis is them overcoming their own weaknesses, their own self-doubt, their own those things. That's all strong. That's what makes the movie have heart and meaning to me. Where I have a problem with it is Kel Mitchell should have not actually been able to go invisible. I don't think that bowling. I think she should have been great with that bowling ball, but it shouldn't have had a mind of its own. I think it takes
cheated if at the end we come to find out they really just aren't superheroes.
Yeah, see that
cheated.
I would actually prefer it go the other way. Give us I hate to like bring Greatest American Hero, but give us like sputtering versions. Oh, nice job, William Cat reference. Sputtering versions of their powers, right? Like, have Invisible Boy kind of flicker a little bit when nobody's looking and he's got his eyes closed to show that, all right, there's something there, but he
so you want the audience to kind of go wink wink, you're in on the sequence.
Yeah, and they also
because otherwise you haven't earned it. You haven't given
there we go.
given
That's
me
the
enough
word.
to believe that the characters really can do these powers until you just say, voila, they have those powers.
100%.
And you get it.
Yep.
You get it a little bit you get it a lot actually with Blue Raja and the Shoveler, because they are really good with their tools and just some aim issues and something like that. But they get Wes Studi again. Another one of the best parts of this film is Wes Studi, totally underused.
Honestly, didn't need to be in the movie. Like that, you could cut that character entirely.
You could, but I liked it. I liked his whole. If you don't go into the sky will come into you, or whatever. Like,
yes.
Oh no, yeah,
great.
he's great. He's fun.
But I think you need him to adhere the characters together. I think you could cut out a lot of the middle crap, and probably like the whole thing with the theme gangs. Cut that down to a third. I like the theme gangs, keep them, but there's the whole dinner thing didn't need to be part of it. Where you just.
But then how would I see Michael Bay
as a frat boy?
How would they not get all the great cameos if I didn't have that?
Why didn't they get younger, blonder people? Like, it would have been so funny if they had actually been really frat boys.
Frat boys,
guys on there. I'm 42 and I'm a frat boy. It was not that didn't work really well. But yeah, like I think we're on the same boat here, kind of across the board. It's just there's a subtlety to how this can be handled. I'm not sure they did it here. The comic is way more like they don't have real powers. As strange as that may sound, like, and also, by the way, the only two characters that carry over are the Shoveler and Mr. Furious or Furious.
Right.
And that's it. There is no bowler. There is no Blue Raja.
Which is funny because the Spleen and Blue Raja both feel like they would have perfectly come from Flaming Carrot. My uncle bought Flaming Carrot comics, and I read them, and I thought they were just too. I didn't get it because I was 10 or 11 or something.
Right.
It's the guy with a big carrot for a head and the
top's on fire.
Yeah, the top's on fire. Yeah, if you didn't know.
Yeah, kind of like the Tick. Well, not as obvious as the Tick. I mean, the Tick is clearly a superhero. This is a guy whose head is a giant carrot.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I tell you my favorite thing in this whole movie?
Do it.
I really, really want to know if any of the three of you agree with me. I'm just hoping that one of you will agree with this. My favorite thing in the whole movie is Ben Stiller as Mr. Furious.
Yes, agreed.
picking up on slowly figuring out how to pick up on and fall in love with Claire Forlani as Monica, and how they have a complete relationship. They have the meet cute, they have all of the steps along the way, and then they have the grand finale at the very, very end with them. And like, I really, really love that, and I wish that the movie had known that it was doing that.
You don't think it knew that it was making this?
No, because along the way, I have to watch Kel Mitchell get his ankle humped by a skunk, and I realize it's a funny gag.
I thought Pee Wee was the one. Pee Wee was getting it,
and then for some reason, Kel Mitchell does doing a Stevie Wonder for some reason.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like along the way, the movie it's like the movie is like no, I'm about these great gags. And I keep saying to the movie, no, I want you to be about these interesting little, like the relationship between the shoveler and his wife, and Blue Raja gets plenty of just enough of mom, like mom and son.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And like it's that stuff that
this was real
good.
Wasn't this real popular though at the time that we would have this type of? So we were during the late 90s, probably late 90s, we were having a lot of movies that were being very genuine with their source material, but then throwing in a bunch of comedy and putting comedic actors in it. And I think that's still here with that storyline of Monica and Mr. Furious and how she helps him kind of temper, which is something you see a lot of, like with The Thing in the Fantastic Four, where he's crazy and furious, even though he doesn't have Hulk powers like that. He doesn't get mad and then get stronger, even though he does clobbering time. Yeah. He has a someone in his life who helps manage his anger. So I felt this was a good nod, and I thought it was a good thread through on the story and a good completion of the character arc. I'm not quite sure I understand what your problem. You feel like it wasn't handled well enough? You feel like maybe is that what I'm hearing, Randy?
I'm watching it in 2023, and I've seen what I've seen the last 25 years.
I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it.
I just think you take something like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's now a complete trilogy, and you look at the whole of that, and it is a kind of a miraculous adaptation. Like the fact that they pulled that off at all is insane. When it got announced, I went, "There's no way you're doing this raccoon tree thing any justice. This is not going to work." And he did. And so I think with the right hands, this would be amazing, I think.
We're saying that now. I wonder how our sensibilities will be in another 20 years from this Guardians of the Galaxy, and people will look back and go, this is just dumb.
Nobody looked at, but nobody was, that would be, maybe that's a good comparison. If in 99 we were looking at this and going, this is the most amazing movie. I can't believe that.
But it was because we weren't getting a lot of nods.
No, it tanked.
Our lifestyle.
Yeah, but it tanked, dude. It tanked. That movie tanked at the box office.
But just because something tanks, like the Dungeons and Dragons movie, it tanked. Not because there's not a passionate user base.
No.
Well, it did. If you look at the numbers, if you look and say, was it successful enough to make a sequel, and did it make enough money worldwide? No, it is considered a financial flop. But the reason why is because the people who are passionate about D&D, the movie is good. The people who are passionate about it are there, but there's just not enough of them in a worldwide market to make it financially successul.
Yeah.
In its time, the tomatometer puts Mystery Men at 60%, and it's currently Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves is currently 90% among critics.
Right.
But you were arguing that it had to do with money. I think when Scott says it tanked, I think he's talking a bit more about how it came and went. It didn't get huge audiences, and the critics tend to kind of.
Is that what you meant, Scott? I'm looking at you, Scott.
I think also I don't think it did what they needed to financially. We just saw sequels. We would have saw more stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, it was like rife with issues.
But all you got to do is just ask any of the people. Okay, maybe I've got a weird perspective, but everybody that I talked to this past week on social media is just like passionate about this movie.
Well, that's because they're replying to your post
people
about
have watched it recently.
I didn't take a number. Would you watch it recently? But they all act like, oh, I love this movie. And
Of course they do, because
every year.
But you got to look at the inherent bias in that. You're going to post something about, we're doing this for Film Sack, and you talk about it. People go, oh, I love that movie. Well, only the people
who are indifferent to it are going to reply.
Yeah, they're not going to reply.
But that's what I said at my top of my discussion was that I think this really resounds true with the people that was aimed at. I think it's successful in what it aimed at.
And like I said, I really liked it at the time, only not liking the final bit. My problem this time is the final bit is still the main problem, but there are bits of that final bit strewn throughout that are just kind of annoying. And I think the final bit's just too formulaic. It's like, well, we got to take on the bad guy, and we got some bad CGI to do it.
But we haven't even talked about Jeffrey Rush and his Casanova Frankenstein, one of the best character names I've ever heard of in my life. It really just it tells you the whole story. Right, it tells you everything you need to know about.
I love him, so whatever he's in.
And this is peak Jeffrey Rush. Like at this point, he's been acting for 25 years. He's amazing. Like it's perfect role for him, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, his real prestige stuff would come after, I guess. So you got about 2 years after this, you get the first Pirates of the Caribbean, and he was great in that.
Shine was well before that. That was like that
was his big moment, right?
He already had 2 Oscar nominations before this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got him.
Well, didn't we see, wasn't there a Haunted something that we saw that where he was what was that? Shit. It's all I could think about in this was this. We saw like
let me tell you, Scott. This is our third Jeffrey Rush movie.
Okay, what are the other 2?
Okay. We've previously seen him in House on Haunted Hill.
That's the one.
That's the one he's thinking of. Yeah,
and he was a voice in Green Lantern. You might recall.
Oh yeah,
no, I don't recall.
Oh yeah, he was the narrator guy.
Gives him the ring, right?
Yeah, he was awesome.
See, that was a bad movie. There.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like, if
they both can be bad, Brian.
They can both be bad.
This can be bad.
They can't exist in the same universe and both be bad.
Those 2 movies. It's funny you say that because I got a similar vibe of
really.
Well, let me finish. So, like, if you go all the way through the end of these movies,
right?
Even if you don't know about the behind the scenes drama of rewrites, reshoots,
and the director quitting.
The director quitting.
Right.
Like,
yes. Back to commercials. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the guy. The director is the guy who did the Got Milk and the Taco Bell Chihuahua.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is why. I think his buddy, the Transformers movie guy. I can't think of his name.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay was there.
Yeah,
because Michael Bay was also huge Got Milk ad director back in the day. Oh yeah, big time.
I don't remember any of those with explosions, so that's why.
It's weird, right?
Milk exploding on people's faces. They're drinking.
It was all music videos and Got Milk. But anyway, what was my point? My point was, so both of these movies have this feeling of there was stuff happening behind the scenes that fiddled with this and made him make some bad choices. I felt that way through both films. And sure enough, if you go look at all the background information on them, much of which I didn't know before this viewing, tons of problems. Like Kinnear and what's his name were fighting every day on set. Ben Stiller and Kinnear hated each other's freaking guts.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Which is perfect because they should hate each other. And it actually plays well into it. You kind of feel it when they're discussing. It feels good.
Yeah, but they only have like 2 scenes together.
And they're fantastic because he finally gets a chance to tell the A-list guy who he wants to be, but he's also, just
but I don't think that's a thing that has to happen now, with the loss of Mark.
Have to.
With the loss of Tio Salamanca, Mark just passed yesterday. Mark Margolis passing away yesterday. The 2 of the best friends on set of Breaking Bad and later Better Call Saul were Giancarlo Esposito and him. But can you think of a more hateful relationship on camera
on screen?
So I don't think it's good that you hate each other as actors.
I agree. Typically it's not good, but considering that they were in so few scenes together, and the scenes together they did have were so confrontational, I don't think it hurt the movie. I don't think it hurt the movie at all.
Do you think it worked for Chevy Chase and everybody?
Anytime Chevy, there is a particular value to Chevy Chase being a dick on film, and you can almost feel it. You almost feel like the actors are kind of like just side-eyeing him when he's acting and stuff, which is kind of how his character plays usually too. So
it's really weird when somebody's got bankable box office, but you're forcing people to work with a guy that nobody likes.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing.
He's fun to watch. You would never want to interact with Chevy Chase, probably, but it's fun to watch him interact with other people.
He was a big star for a reason. It's just being a complete dick, it will catch up to you. Nobody wants to work with him now. Because now your star is lower and no one cares. So nobody wants to work with Chevy. But I don't know. This is, I don't know how rife this was with problems. We can only read what we can read. I just feel like there was a missed opportunity here to to really take this material and do something a little bit more interesting with it. That being said, I liked a lot of it. Like, I really liked the low rent characterization of these heroes. The fact that they are just kind of good with throwing forks and I'm pretty good with a shovel, and then their homemade costumes. Like, I like that. Lean into that more, and lean into the fact that you really don't know what you're doing until we really need you, but don't be invisible suddenly out of nowhere. That really bugs me.
This really spoke to me in '99 because I was able to tap into my childhood of always doing these stupid kind of. I mean, all we ever did as kids, at least with me and my friends, is come up with superhero names and superhero powers and put them in crazy situations, because that was kind of more my D&D. Like, people were playing real D&D, which I played a little bit of. I was more into, going outside and playing pretend, role playing superheroes. I was really big into the whole thing. And so
I had so much narrative around my bike. My bike was my utility belt.
Yeah,
right.
You were the Michael.
You throw the card into the spokes, and you.
That's right. You were the Michael Knight to your kit, basically.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
You need the Deluxe-a-Rang and the
Also, you must know nothing about me if you do not know. Right. You guys must not know anything about me if you do not know that I grew up during when MTV hit. It impacted me so greatly that every movie that has been directed by a music video director, I will usually give a big pass to, like, all the way to my Sucker Punch loving. If it looks like a music video and it speaks like a music video, you're already fought half the battle.
Well, and I think that's that is the only thing that I really do like about Sucker Punch was just how it looked. I think visually it's a stunning film. And anything by director Russell Mulcahy, because he, you look back at all his Duran Duran slow motion table flipping videos, and Video Killed the Radio Star was his, and all that stuff. And those, I'll give him a pass to some degree for the movies he directs, if the movie's passable, but he visually makes it stunning. Then
see, there are examples of really prestige versions of this. David Fincher started in music videos. Spike Jonze started in that and doing Jackass and all that stuff. Jonathan Glazer, there's a whole bunch of them that are incredible actors. Gore Verbinski has his moments. I wouldn't say he's incredible, but anyway, the point is, like, there is a real aesthetic to that, and I agree. If they can parlay that into good filmmaking, sometimes it's a little arcadey for some of them, and then some of them are like mind blowing. It's like Alex Proyas is on this list. That dude is one of my favorite directors of all time. Dark City is incredible movie.
Well, and we've all heard about how Fincher, when he was getting started, was really clamped down by the studios, right? Like Alien 3, right?
Yeah.
And I think this movie has some of that. I think when Kinka Usher comes along, the studio is like, okay, let's surround this guy by really experienced first assistant director and producers. And they did. Like, the first assistant director, we've also seen in like 6 other movies, like I Am Legend and Replacement Killers and this kind of thing. And then the producers, I'm talking about Lawrence Gordon and Lloyd Levin. These two guys produced Die Hard together and Event Horizon together, and they produced Lock Up and Watchmen together. And like, that's going to give you a maximum ceiling. You can't do anything greater than what those people have done, right? They're just going to steer you down a train track, basically.
Sure. That's fair. But then you have weird ones like Simon West made Con Air. He directed Con Air. And then also The Mechanic. Weirdly, that's such a different movie.
Wow. I need to see that. I know, like everybody talks about how Christian Bale lost so much weight for that, and I still have never seen it.
It's
I just
fantastic.
know the trivia behind it about.
It's dark, but it's worth your time. It's very good. Yeah. But he directed Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. Good Lord!
Wow,
like
what a it's both ends of the spectrum.
Exactly. Kind of and I didn't know this. Michael Bay directed I Touch Myself by the Divinals. Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That needed direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Explosive. Every time he touched herself.
They kept touching other things, and he had to tell them, no, you got to touch yourself.
No.
Rest in peace, Christina Amphlett.
Oh, so much sadness with Paul Rubens passing recently and all that. It just,
yeah, I like after, now that we've seen the movie, I was like, okay, so this isn't my favorite thing Paul Rubens ever did.
Oh, no.
I have a hard time even watching him in Mystery Men because
really?
Because of the
really? I thought he was legit funny in this. He really worked it for me.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like the stuff on his face, the zips and stuff like that.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I think the voice that he pulls in is about as far from Pee-wee as he can get.
Yeah,
like he can't. There's very little that he can do to get out of that Pee-wee.
I'll give you one slightly farther from Pee-wee, and that is his appearance on 30 Rock, where he's like a Eastern European prince.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. He's really good in that. Yeah. He's really good in that.
At some point, we do need to watch the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer with.
That's right.
We do.
That's
Christy Swanson. Yeah.
I like that one.
I want to admit what a dumbass I am. I was casting around in my mind, what's my favorite Paul Rubens role? And did he ever play it straight? And for some reason, because I had just watched him and Jeanine Garofalo, I was like, man, I need to look at Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion again. That is not Paul Rubens.
I was about to say,
it is Alan Cumming.
Oh, you could swap. They could double for each other sometimes.
Yeah, in my mind, Paul Rubens played the love interest in.
Alan Cumming is the British or the Scottish, I guess he is. Paul Rubens.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember him being in Blow. What part did he play?
Oh, yeah, he's known for that.
That was a serious role.
I've never seen Blow, but everyone always raves about him in it, and I should probably
watch
see
that.
Blow. Yeah. Blow good. And like, what is Blow? Blow is like drugs, right? It's like a cocaine.
It's a cocaine. Movie about the
Johnny Depp.
The dangers of cocaine.
It is a Johnny Depp deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have not seen Blow. Maybe
I have not either. We should maybe put that on the list.
Is that worth doing?
He was in 6 episodes.
Keep an eye on all of us after we watch that.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, he was in the Smash Mouth All-Star video. That's right, because that's where that music video is from. Is this movie here?
Yeah, I mean, really, they technically weren't in it. They just used clips from this film for the Smash Mouth All-Star video.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I didn't know that.
Shrek.
No,
and not Shrek, even though that's what everybody thinks of.
Everybody thinks it came from Shrek, yeah.
They were really having a moment, though, weren't they, as a band?
Oh, they were,
Going mainstream.
And I never connected this song with Shrek. I connected the I'm a Believer cover that they did with Shrek.
Do people hate them now? Is that a thing? I seem like I got some hate the other day about these guys. I'm like,
nobody likes them.
Why?
No, they don't like them because they got
overplaying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's why All Star turned into such a meme, because it's like making fun of Photograph and by Nickelback or Creed.
But Nickelback, I didn't feel like Nickelback. I'm like, okay, I can see you just don't like that music because of its vapidness or whatever it is. It's not authentic. I didn't think of it because people played it too much. Now I think of All Star as a song that people just played too much, and you're like, okay, enough.
I want to also answer the question. You might recall a couple of years ago, Steve Harwell, the lead singer, was revealed to be the biggest jackass that ever lived.
Sturgis, boy, oh boy.
Like
that video is hard to watch.
This doesn't hurt Fred Durst at all, though. Why is that something?
Well, Fred Durst isn't. It's a different kind of. Okay, here's the deal. Fred Durst just keeps making music and stays the same. This guy went from
stay the same age.
This guy went from like, hey, I got two popular songs in the 2000s to I'm a complete wreck on stage. I'm ruining this experience for everyone. Okay. I'm a big piece of shit.
And in multiple live performances, he was high as a kite, drunk, and yelling at the crowd and doing like the Nazi Heil Hitler and this kind of thing.
I was never a huge fan, so it's just like I enjoyed those couple of songs and they were fine. I was just never a big fan.
He had his own band that he'd been with for like 25 years stop playing and leave the stage because they were so embarrassed by him.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a mess.
I guess you would feel betrayed by that if you were a fan of theirs. Like I said, I wasn't really a fan. I've just always been like, oh, it's fine.
Sure.
I just think it's goofy because you have 2 songs that anyone gives a shit about, and you're and
boy, they're one song away from being a one-hit wonder. That's amazing, isn't it? Really,
I mean, I'd give you "Walking on the Sun" was a hit for them.
And that why can't we be friends cover was everywhere for a while.
Oh,
really?
Can't be friend? Yeah, I remember that. I don't know. I don't have that much to say about that, except I have some nostalgia for Shrek popping out of his toilet door and going, "Somebody wants to," like there's some fun there. You know?
I want you to know, after watching Mystery Men with my 13-year-old, this movie's ending. We're hearing Smash Mouth. My kid goes, "I can't believe that like that song was then used in a terrible animated film." And I was like, "Hold your mouth right now."
The kids really don't like this Shrek.
We need to talk about this.
True.
And so I just let him go. He just started talking about how terrible Shrek is. And I started looking up like these prestige lists of the greatest animated films of all time. And I showed the best one I found has Shrek at number 10 at the greatest animated films of all time.
Wow.
It is above so many greater movies on this list.
That's crazy.
And I was just like, how can you not? And so like this movie, Mystery Men, led to me requiring that my kids sit and watch Shrek with me.
I gotta say, I'm kind of amazed that he sat through Mystery Men. If he made it through the credits.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Man, Mike Myers just really, like, everybody flipped on him a lot. I mean,
I didn't.
I did. I love him
even all the way up in through his weird Gong Show reboot.
I apologies. I do say Mike Myers like we flipped on the human being. No, I'm talking about his entertainment value. From the 90s, it's like people just like it like in 2000s.
I think that's sort of true, but also he took off. He took a bunch of time off, and I don't blame him for doing that. But it wasn't because he couldn't get work. I think he was just like, I need to slow down. This is too much. Like I think he even said as much. He's like going back to Canada to chill out a little bit and not do good.
And all that said, still, you couldn't pay me enough to watch The Love Guru.
Oh yeah,
I actually thought The Love Guru was not that great.
Stop it now!
It wasn't great. I don't like that one. I'm just kidding. But don't mess with the Zohan. That's not actually bad. That's not him. That's Adam Sandler. But it's kind of the same idea.
Why would you?
Right? Movies all together. I want to know.
They're all the same movie.
I feel like we've had this discussion on Film Sack, but I just want to know. Like, what are like Mike Myers' greatest deal? Like, where do you appreciate Mike Myers?
Austin Powers, Wayne's World.
Okay.
Yeah.
How I Killed Your Mom with an Axe, or what's that called?
Oh, so I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, that's really good.
That's so underappreciated, and he basically plays all of his SNL kind of like, oh, I'm the Scottish guy who owns the store, I'm at a grouch, and all that stuff. And
so not the Cat in the Hat then. All right, I got it.
Yeah, not the Cat in the Hat, not the Love Guru. But yeah, no, I would say his stuff on SNL was great. His the Wayne's World stuff was great. The Austin Powers, well, I guess he didn't.
We never got a video of the and now it's time to dance. What is it? What's the one?
Oh, Sprockets.
Yeah, Sprockets. That's Sprockets. Did you ever get a Sprockets movie?
No, we never did. We never even got. Yeah, but I'm glad we didn't. I think SNL learned their lesson about taking a character that has one joke and trying to build an entire movie around it. Stuart Saves His Family.
Sure.
Oh yes.
Did you guys see the what's that called? We all did. Bohemian Rhapsody. He was great, and he played that.
Oh, he was great.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and those those kind of hidden roles for him. That like the Gong Show thing where some people had no idea that was Mike Myers under all that makeup and doing the voice and stuff.
But that is just a miracle, that little thing.
that show existed, or the fact that
it's just a miracle. Like, how do you get someone that famous to completely hide themselves in makeup
so well? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. So I really liked him in that, but he's not in this, unfortunately. Might have fit well.
That's true.
He could have been Spleen. I mean, I'm not saying take Paul Rubens out, but I'm saying he could do like a weird stinky guy with a raspy voice.
He also could have been Mr. Furious.
Yeah.
Blue Raja actually with the voice again.
Oh, now Blue Raja could be good. Yeah,
yeah, but I think all of these people are so good in the things that they do. Hank Azaria, fantastic. Eddie Izzard, Greg
I loved Eddie Izzard's character. We haven't talked about that yet.
We haven't
He's
even
so
talked
good.
about Eddie Izzard and his disco thug.
Loved it.
But
they did a lot of improv in this, which was good, and I think that plays well to it. Go ahead.
Is there okay? Go ahead.
The disco henchman, okay, so Casanova Frankenstein needs henchmen, right?
Yeah,
like you have to have some henchmen, and so having them be disco henchmen is really, really funny. But it was an ongoing joke that almost overstayed its welcome, and where it almost went over the line is when they introduce all these other theme gangs, because I'm like, oh, you just took away from the joke that you've been running the whole movie,
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They went too far. I agree with you on that. There was that whole scene you guys mentioned earlier, that whole scene at the castle with all the different mobs coming together, really pointless. Just all the henchmen in their different areas didn't work.
So here's a question. Can superhero movies, or I'm sorry, comic book based movies that star comedians work? Is there an example where like a stand-up comic, I mean, you can kind of say that Ryan Reynolds is funny. I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say he's comedian, but even Suicide Squad didn't use like popular stand-up comedians of the time, right? There were funny people, but then here you've got people who are doing stand-up who are known for really funny things. The Mask, Jim Carrey, kind of over the top in that one, and maybe to the movie's detriment. Versions of the Tick that maybe didn't work as well, or things like that.
No, that's a good point. These
comedians distract from what can make a comic book based movie good.
I think it's according to the source material. I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to see like Dane Cook as Iron Man. I mean, that wouldn't work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. In any form or fashion.
Sure.
But even like a Blue Beetle. I know we've got a Blue Beetle coming.
Yeah, Blue Beetle. That's a good one.
But a character that is funny. Do you still potentially take people out of the movie by putting somebody who as a comedian as the main character?
I kind of agree. I think you need to hire. I think you hire actors or cast actors who have who have comedic talent, but aren't necessarily raw, perfect comedians. And I think Jim Carrey actually bridges that gap a bit. So does Jamie Foxx. There's a list of people who you could say these guys that started in stand up have far exceeded their expectations.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's physical humor is way better than his stand up. His stand up is all right.
I mean, your most stand-up actors in this thing are Janine Garofalo, as where she got her start, and Artie Lang as Red Eye, whatever he was.
Oh yeah, Artie Lang.
Paul Rubens had a stand-up thing. The Groundlings.
Oh,
thing
that's true.
He did his whole Pee Wee Herman live show.
So
that's right.
I want to distinguish between comedians and comic actors, and
Eddie Izzard
where I
too.
kind of go there is the difference between Anchorman, right?
Right.
So that's like Paul Rudd is a comic actor, Steve Carell is a comic actor, right?
Right.
David Koechner, definitely a comic actor. But I can't imagine. Maybe I would see David Koechner on stage if he did stand up, but not. I don't think of him as a stand up.
No, but think of better examples like Pluto Nash, like Eddie Murphy.
There's a comedian.
Blank Man, one of the Wayans guys.
Blank Man. I forgot about that.
One of the Wayans brothers. But
like Caddyshack. Caddyshack. That's a movie that's
but it's not a comic book based movie.
No, but I'm saying I'm trying to come up with examples of a bunch of comics were in a movie. Caddyshack.
Wet Hot American Summer.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Garofalo.
By the way, Neil Cuthbert, writer of Mystery Men, also wrote The Adventures of Pluto Nash. So
and Mask, right? Wasn't
is he Mask? Let's see. I got Hocus Pocus.
Writers for Bob Burton.
I got Hocus Pocus, the Return of the Swamp Thing.
Oh, I actually like the Return of the Swamp Thing, even though it's got ratings kind of low. I enjoyed that movie.
Also, I didn't realize there was a Return of the Swamp Thing.
Also a comic book.
Pluto Nash killed his writing career. That was 2002, and that's the end. Yeah. No more after that. That's a real shame. Because I don't really fault. I think the writing in this is actually okay, given what we hear about reshoots and rewrites. It's all right, but
I think there's gonna be tons of reshoots. I'm not sure about the reshoots and rewrites and stuff, because they kind of came in with kind of a, from what I understand, kind of a loose script intentionally because they knew they had a lot of actors who were very good at improving, and we saw a lot of improving. So I don't know how important.
It's hard to tell how much of it was
a solid structure.
It's hard to tell how much of it was improv, though. Like, it wasn't obvious to me. I couldn't, and maybe that's because
like all the Ben Stiller stuff. I definitely know how Ben Stiller improvs. I could feel.
Yeah, and it's more, and it's maybe less. I think of him less as an improv actor, but more of like a sketch comedy actor. Like I think of the Ben Stiller show, both for him and Garofalo.
Yeah, I think Paul Rubens is a real good improver too. So both those guys.
So, why does Suicide Squad, is it just James Gunn, but why does Suicide Squad work so well when you have funny people? Nathan Fillion's funny, John Cena's funny.
See a lot of funny people here.
Do you consider them to be comic actors, or do you consider them to be actors who happen to also be funny in addition to the other things that they do?
And in John Cena's case, it's like a wrestler who can actually act, who can actually do comedy. It's like a weird combination of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think James Gunn, I don't want to discount the power that is, because there's so much of that movie that should have sucked, but he made it work. It's so much of Guardians that should suck, but he made it work. So I realize we can't clone the man, and I don't want to overstate his power, but he's made for shit like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking something. I mean,
Idris Elba,
Yeah, right?
You make Idris Elba kind of funny. You make Sylvester Stallone actually funny, and Malmstein. Yeah. Or hiring, Stallone, who tried to be comedic in a lot of things and never really nailed it. And you make him King Shark. It's brilliant. Like,
King Shark.
Some of that is just smart. Combination of smart casting, writing, and directing. But like if you would have said to me, hey, they're doing a Mystery Men remake over at DC, even though it's Dark Horse, but whatever.
Right.
And James Gunn's directing and writing, I would shit my pants. I'd be so excited for this.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm going to tell you that just to watch you shit your pants. Let's do that.
Oh my gosh, I'd be so stoked.
You're like the spleen, but like the colon.
Yeah, exactly. The actual colon part of the spleen. The spleen. So, okay, since he just passed, we should just at least talk about this. I really did feel, I was trying not to be biased about it because he just passed, and I have a lot of strong feelings about my time with Paul Rubens over the years. I love that guy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really did think my favorite moments were moments with him, and not just fart moments. That's not what I mean.
Right.
But like him having conversations with people, always trying to pick girls up and always getting shut down. He was cracking me up in this.
Oh, me too.
I laughed at him 3 or 4 times.
No matter what he does, he cracks me up. And I was the same way because I don't like flatulence humor. I don't think it's funny when people fart. I don't know why some people think it's funny. Like you go and fart.
And yet you're in frog pants.
That makes me laugh. But no, furt is a funny sound. I don't find it humorous when somebody furts in real life in front of me and goes, "Oh, that's funny." No, it's not.
No,
it's about to stink like shit in here, and I don't appreciate your humor.
Yeah. No, I get it. In real life, it's a little tricky, but also in his case, it just didn't seem. He was kind of lovable. He's gross as hell, but there was something kind of. I was rooting for him hardcore, and the only time he took me out of it is when he was yelling in Pee Wee voice. That was the only time. And it was so obvious, and they were kind of playing to it,
right?
Yeah. Hank Azaria does a Glavin at one point.
He does when he sits on the fork, I think.
Yeah, when he sat on the fork. And I got a video, or I have audio of it, and he did it on purpose. It's in the trivia, but it's just like, okay, we get it. You're doing Professor Frink from The Simpsons. We know you're a voice actor from The Simpsons.
Yeah,
those kinds of things are a little like, okay, guys.
That's a little low, right? It's just like
it's just low hanging fruit.
It's kind of like when you hear the Wilhelm scream. It's like, okay,
which we hear in this movie. I think there was an early Wilhelm.
Yeah. You put zero effort into it, is what we're saying. That feels disingenuous.
That ball, by the way, her bowling ball was a skull, actual skull.
Oh, really? It was, actual human skull?
It was manufactured by a company called Ebonite, and they make make less detailed versions of this thing. But I don't know if it was they don't say here if it was a real skull.
She has the coolest character.
Might be plastic.
She has the coolest character in this movie.
I mean, you find out why she does what she does.
Right.
The memory of her father. It's tropey as hell, but still it's like you get more of a backstory than why the shoveler is the shoveler, why Mr. Furious is Mr. Furious.
Yeah, but I would take a Blue Raja shoveler spinoff buddy cop movie. I would watch that.
They were very strong.
together, I think they matched up real good. Sorry, Randy, you were about to.
What I love about the bowler in this movie is that they stick with her plot. They don't add or subtract anything from it. She is a woman who lost her father and now has her father
and a bowling bag.
Yeah, and that is that. They don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't try to. Like the entirety of her character progression is her redemption via her father at the end, which is going to happen. Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
They don't try to make someone fall in love with her. They don't have, you know what I'm saying? They don't have her get like really hurt and then whatever. It's just this real straightforward, simple thing. And she's perfect for it. I love Janine Garofalo's tone.
She's just great and everything. I really like her a lot. I wish there was, I don't know what have we seen anything lately where it's like, oh yeah, she's still doing stuff.
She just appeared in an episode of Aquafina.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Which I would like
Queens.
Yeah. A lot of she was in Billions. That's interesting. 2 episodes.
Boy, that's the second time that's come up in a day. Somebody, the real Chris Brown told me I need to watch Billions. Like that's the next show I need to binge watch. Apparently, he says it's really good. I love Giamatti.
Heard similar. Yeah, I also like that redhead guy from.
I didn't know she did a voice stuffer there.
Well, who's the redhead guy from?
Damian Lewis.
That guy. I like him. He's in Billions, I guess.
Did anybody watch the second season of the Wet Hot American Summer series?
I did not.
Yes, actually, I did. Kim and I watched that whole thing. It was good. She was in that.
Because I remember, like we watched the movie for Film Sack, and then a series came out on Netflix, and I started watching it, and I was like, nah. But then there was a second season, and I'm like, what if it got better?
I think it did. If I remember right, I kind of liked it.
She was in Stumptown too, and I really wish that movie a TV series had better chance. Did you watch Stumptown?
No.
2019, 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, no, that was good.
Yeah.
She's also in Broad City, which is excellent. She's doing all kinds of work.
Oh yeah, she's busy.
Yeah, she's got stuff.
You see her all the time. She's always here.
Her Seinfeld moment is one of my favorite things ever. Because Jerry was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't marry this version of myself. I can't do this." Anyway, check this out. Here's some trivia for you. This goes to Stiller's attitude on the set. According to Ben Stiller, in an interview with late night show host David Letterman in 1993, or Late Show rather, he and Greg Kinnear got in such a heated argument on the set that afterwards Stiller tried to be released from the film.
Oh, that would be great.
I didn't know Kinnear was I don't know who was harder to deal with, but why would these two?
Ben Stiller was having a moment. There was a time for a moment with Ben Stiller. Maybe just too much. He was really
something about Mary was right before this, right? Like his star was huge on the rise.
Yeah, he was doing a whole bunch of work. He needed a break, basically, is what the problem was.
Yeah. Plus, his dad's Jerry Stiller, and he always upstaged.
He is so God
because he's so good. Speaking of Seinfeld. Ben Stiller, of course, the producer, co-writer, and showrunner for the excellent Severance show on Apple TV Plus. If you've never seen that, people at home, you're insane. You must watch this. It's not even a comedy. Don't go in expecting a Ben Stiller comedy. Go in expecting one of the coolest mind Fs in the history of television. It's so good. So good. Brian, did you ever watch it? Did you ever see it, Ibbot?
No,
Severance?
You never seen Severance?
Oh, Severance. Yes, I've seen Severance.
Oh, okay. Sheesh.
Yes.
I was going to lose my shit here for a second.
We noticed.
I could have sworn that you had seen that.
That's funny, actually.
Because we were talking about John Turturro and everybody in it, and you were loving it.
Christopher Walken, and no, I've totally seen Severance.
I thought I was going out of my mind.
I thought the showrunner was Dan Erickson.
It's a co-deal, but Ben Stiller's big time in charge.
Yeah.
Where is it here? He is where is it? Producer, Severance, executive producer, writer. Directed a bunch of episodes.
You start to watch it, he's like,
yeah.
He directed a bunch of it. Anyway, Severance is so good. Will Ferrell
on a lot of stuff that he produces. You get him like at the very beginning, and you think that his involvement is way more than it really is.
Yeah.
Well, and he's clearly been close to Janine Garofalo like their entire careers. Ben Stiller gets credited with discovering Janine Garofalo, which I always laugh at because like she was a pretty successful stand-up comedian
Yeah,
before
yeah.
before
He just brought her over into the
discovered
movie
her.
Right.
Oh, here's something crazy. He directed. Is this every episode? He directed almost all the episodes of Severance are directed by Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's got more involvement than I thought he did.
Oh yeah, no, he's
I thought he was just like money behind the scenes kind of guy, but
no, he's apparently a big whoop.
money. Look at money over here.
Ricky Jay's character. I'll play this audio later, but he tells Captain Amazing, "I'm a publicist, not a magician," which is a
nod to his magicianry.
Well-known magician. Yeah. Is there any more of that's interesting? Let's see. There's a.
I didn't feel like we got enough follow up on the whole Pepsi thing either, because at one point in time he rips the Pepsi thing off, and then they never.
He's got it back on
He's
his
got it
shoulder
later. Yeah.
Apparently, Pepsi waffled that night. I guess I don't know. Pepsi was like, "Oh no, we'll keep doing it. We'll stay with him." I don't know what they did.
The waffler.
Isn't that a term? Somebody waffles on something?
Yeah. That's
yeah,
true.
no,
I
I'm
was
just
referring to the Dane Cook character, the waffler.
Exactly.
Oh, I get it. Pepsi waffles. I'd eat those. I'd try that. Let's see. Shoveler's first outfit was better than his second one. I think he got worse gear as he leveled up.
after the costume.
Yeah.
After he had to make his own costume. Yeah, because his kid needed his uniform back, right? He was wearing part of his kid's.
I totally get all the motivations. I'm just saying, use your transmog machine and go back to your first outfit, because your leveled up outfit just looked like shit. That wasn't great.
But I will say that the goggles really helped a lot with Invisible Man's character, or Invisible Boy. That really did.
The aviator. Yeah.
Yeah, the aviator.
Yeah, it is so unnecessary, but yeah.
Well, they made it so that
they
made it so that he couldn't see himself. That was the most important.
Yeah.
So he had blinded to even his own body, and then
gotcha. Okay.
Well, didn't he make a reference to the superior characters that he played in Kenan and Kel?
I don't know. Did he?
This? I thought
I've never seen.
that.
I haven't even seen Good Burger, Brian.
Oh wow, yeah, that you should definitely watch.
Good Burger 2 coming.
I enjoy Good Burger. I hope you enjoy.
I love Good Burger. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Good Burger 2 is being made.
Right.
Let's see, where is that?
I'm so glad that
he does
Kenan
mostly
and Kel are
voice
able to
work
get back
now.
together and do some stuff.
Yeah, I love the reveal of that was on SNL too. Like they had Kel Mitchell show up in a Good Burger sketch with Kenan.
Yeah.
He does a ton of voice work now. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Tons of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's not really in things, but I guess Good Burger 2, he'll be in things.
He'll be into things.
That might, look, if you're part of I always think about this. You're part of a comedy duo of any kind. Let's say Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. Yeah. Cheech Marin had way bigger career than Tommy Chong did.
Yeah.
In this case, the other one, or Keegan, has the bigger career, right? The way bigger career. This always seems to happen. Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. Like, no one remembers Art Garfunkel. That must be such a bummer.
George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley.
Or even, didn't you watch, I think maybe it was Ibbot. Somebody just watched the Wham documentary.
I'm about to. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but it is
Wham!
Very shortly coming up, because we're going to watch it for Soundography and talk about it.
That's right. I think you'd mentioned you were going to do it for the show, and it's like that's another example of like, man, George Michael went much further than dude.
Yeah.
What's the other guy?
There are a couple of comedy duos though that they both
hit,
like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Oh yeah,
right.
They both have their own levels.
Really
Key and Peele's a good example. It's a different kind of career, but they're both doing fine.
And I think maybe part of the key is, and no pun intended, is you continue to do stuff. Like you don't just say, "All right, well, my star's on the rise. See ya." It's like Key and Peele still may make an appearance somewhere together. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, much better example. Constantly still doing stuff with each other and keeping each other's stars both rising.
That's a really good one. There's some rumor floating around that when what's his name at SNL,
Lorne Michaels quits, it's gonna be
she's the heir apparent. He's gonna knight her and put her in there. I could see that.
Speaking of Chris Brown, he said, "Do you know who they're looking at to replace Lorne Michaels?" And my first answer was Tina Fey, and he says, "Yep, exactly." Before I'd even heard the rumors,
it makes sense, right? She's just perfect for it. She wants it.
She knows that kind of comedy so well that, been a writer, been a featured performer, all that stuff.
A huge success after, like, she's been through the whole ringer that is SNL, like from top to bottom.
And even a parody of SNL.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's good practice. But
you learn a lot of stuff by doing a parody of something.
It's just funny to think that one day there'll be an SNL where she's as old as Lorne Michaels and people are doing impressions of her voice. You know,
what is this?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
We were talking about comedy teams, and we don't really think of a real tight work group with Ben Stiller and Garofalo, but they've written a book together apparently. Feel this book.
Yeah,
that wouldn't
Yeah,
surprise
and
me.
they've talked about doing some
either.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
me either. I didn't even know this existed.
I mean,
so,
he directed not Dazed and Confused, the other one that Brian brought up. The one
What Hot American?
the one with
the
I can't think of names today. Fiona Apple.
Fiona Apple, perfect.
What's her name? I can't think of
Nailed
anything.
it. I don't know if Fiona. I'm going with Fiona Apple. I think that is your final answer.
I'll just look up Beetlejuice.
Could you reveal the answers on the board, please?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me pull it up. Here it is. It's, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Her name is Winona Ryder. Good Lord.
Winona Ryder. God. Yeah, but we've said so many names today, man. You give yourself a break.
But what's that early 90s one or mid 90s one that was no, and it's with Garofalo in it.
Oh, they start together, you're saying? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
I'm saying that
I see what you're saying. Like The Truth About Cats and Dogs, or
the one before that.
Reality Bites.
Reality Bites.
Oh,
okay.
That was that's right. That was directed by Stiller, and he played the boyfriend of like some douchey musician boyfriend. Or no, I'm confusing that with The Truth About Jane or something.
Yep.
You know, I've
just
been watching rewatching Friends again, and I just happened to, after I watched The Mystery Men, they had Ben Stiller's cameo on Friends, where he plays something very similar to the Furious character. He's like a bad boyfriend, just blows up. And
whose boyfriend is
Mr.
it?
Doo-doo head. Is it
Courtney Cox?
Is it Courtney Cox? I just walked through. They were
Monica. Not to Monica.
Monica.
How are you enjoying your watch through of Friends for the 400th time? How's
Well,
that going?
I'm not watching it necessarily as much as it is on in the background, and I occasionally walk through and I, quote the exact same line because they're burnt into my brain.
Yes, that's how I see
If
it.
you want to have your mind,
watching.
Yeah.
If you want to have your mind blown, go watch, and I'll find the exact episode. But in season 1 of Taxi,
wow,
there's a character that's there the entire first season and then just disappears. He's like this rube fresh off the boat Midwest, steak and potatoes guy named John Burns, I think.
Okay.
And he's a cabbie he's a guy that Alex picks up, somehow comes back to the Sunshine Cab Company in the first episode and becomes a cab driver because he's got nothing else going on. And then he's there for the whole first season. One of the episodes is about him and his girlfriend becoming his wife, and they go to their apartment. And his apartment is the Monica and Rachel apartment from Friends, with that big angled plate glass window with the bedrooms on the side. I saw this and I was like, oh my god, the kitchen on the same side. It's mind blowing. Like
that kind of stuff. I love stuff like that. When I first heard that the Frasier apartment and coffee shop are just two ends of the same exact set that was Cheers.
Right.
It's just like, what? Oh my gosh, I can tell. So then when you think about it positionally, you can kind of see, well, that's where Norm would sit, but now that's the end of their apartment facing, like you can kind of situate. I'd love that kind of crap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh man, when Taxi was around, Andy Kaufman's character in that, I knew nothing about Andy Kaufman at that time, and so it's just so weird that my experience with his whole character, my whole experience with him in general, I didn't even realize it's like probably the 80s before I found out his other comedic stuff. It was just weird.
Oh yeah, no, that I had no idea when I was a kid. In fact, I thought that was somebody's real accent. I didn't know.
I did too. I thought it was really him. In my mind, when I found out it wasn't that.
Yeah, and then I would see like an episode of Letterman or something, and he'd come on there, and I'd be like, "Who is this?" Like, this was not our weird avant-garde comedian, but he kind of became that for 2 generations. Like, he crossed over.
Speaking of, I have to issue my. Would you just let somebody do their native accent about Mystery Men? Oh my God! Just let Eddie Izzard talk like Eddie Izzard.
Oh yeah.
He didn't talk a lot, so it's kind of surprising that they even felt that necessary.
Yeah. It's so he is full. He has gone trans woman this year, and his new name is
Susie
Izzard. Is that it?
I think it is Susie Izzard, right?
Now, normally, IMDb is usually pretty quick on this, and they swap stuff around, but he's still just Eddie Izzard in here with an old photo. I don't know if that's just not a priority or whatever, but anyway, he's one of those, he and now she is one of those people that every time they do anything, I get more excited about what I'm watching because I think they're brilliant. Here's my only problem with this one. I think you're right about the accent. That's a problem. They should have let them just be British. But also, well, we said this, but get rid of all the other theme stuff and let these disco guys have a bigger role. Like then let them actually be bigger henchmen. Yeah. And I think that would have helped the movie.
Yeah, I didn't understand the mob boss thing that they needed to bring in all the. I didn't get that. I was trying to figure out if it was like a nod to the. I didn't read the comic, like a lot, so I don't know.
And they're so quickly dispatched that they're completely unnecessary.
Yeah, they don't feel needed at all.
I understand, by the way, that everybody's got their own thing, that you have your own idea of who you are and like even what your name is.
Oh, right.
But I mean, Edie Izzard was right there. Why didn't he?
Right.
Why
didn't they go just? Yeah. Why didn't he just go? Yeah, super close.
Well, why didn't Ellen Page become Alan Page? I mean,
that's right there.
That's a good one.
The name you want, the name you want.
See, this just
right.
This is all goes back to the human nature to want to name things cleverly, right? That's that's where this whole movie Mystery Men comes from. Is that the comic creator thinking of what will be a silly name and then what will be a super silly power to put with them, and so can't help it.
Absolutely.
Human nature.
I mean, the scene that everybody remembers from the movie is the tryouts where so many low rent, useless people come through.
We even talking about Dan Cook. Did we mention Doug Jones?
That's right. Doug Jones was there.
Oh yeah, Doug Jones.
And I thought I had to look because I thought Son of Pencilhead looks so much like Doug Jones that kid had to be
wait a minute.
Son, but he's not. He's a completely different actor.
Is he not? Okay.
No.
That makes sense.
But I mean, it'd be so easy for me to say, "Can I bring my son? Is there a role for him?" Yeah, we'll make him Son of Pencilhead.
I just want to give you some of the others because they go so fast, and some of them are named in the cast, but maybe not. They don't even get a line
fast enough,
right?
Yeah. So ballerina.
Yeah. So there's Super Vac Man with the shop vac.
Yeah.
There's Mr. Pups. I don't remember Mr. Pups at all. You named Waffler. There's Vince Malocki is the mailman. He's got mail, I guess, to throw or drop or something. Dana Gould, Squeegee Man, is probably the most prominent.
Oh, Dana Gould is. We just talked about him on a Gex episode of Play Retro Dunaway.
Yep. Just right there. Yep.
Comedian who went on to mostly be wait, don't tell me guy. So.
That's right.
Yeah, which is fine. It's fine.
This is fine. I'm not
we have Gabriel Conforti as PMS Avenger, which I just feel like that's something else. I don't know why, but PMS Avenger just rings a bell for me, and I can't place it.
Post menstrual syndrome, man. I don't know.
Or premenstrual syndrome.
Oh, there you go. So
I don't know what stuff means.
That's before or after. What's the difference? The t-shirt
a month is such a dumb joke.
Yeah, it is such a dumb joke. I kind of laugh.
The t-shirt that, or not shirt, but the insignia that Doug Jones was wearing actually said just PM. So the theory is that he was actually only called Pencil Man before they decided on the fly or otherwise to call him Eraserhead Man or whatever. Heck, what was it? What they call him? Pencilhead. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been PH. But anyway,
what a sad opportunity that Ben Stiller's show and all these people came from. Or a lot of those people, those actors, made appearances on that. But you didn't get Bob Odenkirk or David Cross, who were apparently big on the Ben Stiller show as little side characters. Both of which would have been great.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. That's the other thing is if I was to cast this now, I got ideas, man. I think you could put Bill Hader in here somewhere.
Oh, Bill Hader's a great pick, right? Even though stand-up comic, but still
he crosses over.
Barry, Barry definitely shows that he can edge just a little bit of that humor into something and make it work.
I agree. Even movies that are mostly comedies, like what's the one with Jesse Eisenberg where they run a theme park? Forgot the name of that.
Adventureland.
Adventureland, I think. Is that it? Mm-hmm. He was really good in that as a not necessarily 100% comedic role.
Yeah,
like he'd be great. There's so many that would be great. So I'm just saying, James Gunn, after you're done with the Superman thing, and then whatever you got on your plate, maybe just do a one-off for Dark Horse. Throw a bone. to the indie comics world and do a new Mystery Men. All right. That's all I'm asking.
Couple other bits of stunt casting in here. We have Artie Lang at the very beginning as the heavy that busts into the old folks' home.
Yeah.
CeeLo Green is one of the rappers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Goody Mob, the Batty Mob, whatever they're called. Yeah.
And then if you just look closely at all the disco girls, one of them is Jodie Watley.
Oh,
no way.
really? Oh, that's funny.
Weird. That's weird.
Speaking of the old folks home, that was the moment of what I think was what grossed Scott out the most, which was actually pulling out a man's false teeth and somebody else having to hold said saliva-covered false teeth.
Hey, Brian, let me just tell you. That is 100% it right there.
Ding.
Right off the bat, like in the first 2 minutes of the movie, we get what grossed Scott out the most.
Yeah, that gross. I thought I was going to say, in the end, I was like, well, maybe it's Paul Rubin's face, but
spleen related.
Yeah, but that did it. The Paul Rubin zits are gross. So the zits on his face, really good practical effects.
Very believable looking. Zits.
Yeah, it just made me want to reach through that screen and like put on a pair of gloves and squeeze that shit out and get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Now that grossed me out the most just now.
I know it didn't have like a real effect, but it was very gross how they did away with Greg Kinnear. Like turning him into this burned body, and then Janine Garofalo comes and just like breaks his hand off.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't think he's gonna pull through this.
Yeah.
I think that was Ben Stiller's influence. Geez, he wanted everything to be very like visual, like shocking. Have you ever seen Something About Mary? When the Franks get above the beans get above the Franks. I didn't think they were going to show it. It's like, they're not going to show it.
That's less of a Ben Stiller thing, and for sure more of a Farrelly Brothers.
Oh,
thing.
hell yeah.
True story.
Freaking Farrellys, man. Those guys were,
in
their heyday, they were willing to go there,
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. Not so much. All right. Well, I think we can do some clips. Yeah. I will say this right before I play these clips, and that's this. Jeffrey Rush really held on to her boobs while he was dragging her around. What's her name? Carly Fione or whatever her name is. What is it?
Claire Filoni.
Yeah.
He just, you'd have to see the scene again. I almost capped it, but
where he's
just holding her boobs.
He's threatening Mr. Furious at the end there, and he is absolutely copping the feel.
Just totally is, and I don't know if everyone's cool with it. Is Jeffrey Rush being weird? Like, I don't know. I don't know who to blame there for that.
I like Claire Forlani so much that I have spent years trying to slip Meet Joe Black into film set.
Oh, she's so what's the word? She's just so you can't stop watching.
She's a very believable.
You can't stop. You can't stop watching.
Compelling looking actress and very believable.
Yeah,
although she always seems to be working at the diner when she needs to be working at the diner when they're there. She's always seems to be at home when Ben Stiller needs her to be home.
Yep. And she is still
really nice.
Still beautiful. She's like 51 or something. Just gorgeous.
We have only seen her in one other film sack movie, and that was The Rock.
Oh, did we never see In the Name of the King, the Dungeon Siege movie? Oh, we have not done that yet.
We need to put that on the list. And I'm fine with Meet Joe Black because I've never seen it. But isn't it like 3 hours long?
It's pretty long.
That's
it's
the
very
problem.
long. It's a very long movie.
It's
pretty very slow.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Yeah, she's great, though. Really like her. I had a major crush back in the day on her. I've gotten over it. I'm fine now.
I've gotten over it.
Have
you?
Yeah, I mostly have a crush on this cleric in Baldur's Gate 3, if I'm honest.
Oh, well,
sure.
Yeah.
She's not even a real person. Yeah, something about her voice. She's very resistant to my wiles, all that. All right, let's play some clips. This is first one we're going to play. This is the shovel doing his thing.
You might just as well shovel it in.
Doing his one-liners,
Yeah. Which that's what this whole very beginning of the movie is nothing but one-liners, right? That whole opening scene with the red eyes.
Yeah.
Is it red eyes or red goggles? I can't remember.
Red eyes, I think.
The red eyes.
The gang. Yeah. It was a dumb thing. You're like, why call them red eyes? Although
I didn't quite understand either because it was like a club for old people, but then they kept calling it the retirement home or something. So I was like, okay.
I think it's because Artie Lang's eyes are all red from all the drugs he was doing. I don't know. I have no idea. Here's this one. Ricky Jay with his little joke.
Look, I'm a publicist, not a magician.
Oh,
wow. That's probably the best joke in the movie.
That's pretty good.
That's an amazing joke.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
All right, I wrote this sounds dumb, so let's see what I meant.
We now commence the 17th parole hearing of Casanova Frankenstein.
Oh, that's why. It just sounds so dumb. That name. I mean, I love the name, but to hear any serious person, it's kind of like my jury duty thing. My letter for jury duty says, you're going to want to, it's all this legalese, like you'll do this and it's an honor to do this and all this. So make sure you fill out our Survey Monkey link that we sent you. It's like, Survey Monkey. Hello.
Yeah. Complete our straw poll and click the link if you'd like to create your own straw poll.
Yeah, it was real weird.
For this email.
Really weird.
I wish Greg Kinnear had more of a disguise in IRL. I don't know. There's just something about like the character didn't look different at all. And I know that's the joke where they're like, well, no, that can't be the same guy. Captain Amazing is.
Oh, I see. He's talking about the disguise, right? The Chad, whatever he's supposed to be.
Yeah. I just wish, I don't know. The joke didn't work for me because it was so blatant,
But I do like the joke that Ben Stiller is the only person who just feels like it's obvious. Well,
yeah.
The glasses off, and Macy's arguing. But if he takes the glasses off, he can't see. It just doesn't make sense.
It shows you his cynicism versus everybody else's optimism, right?
That I did kind of like.
Yeah.
I think it's a testament to the actor more. Here's the Blue Raja doing his thing.
Oh, I get it. So your shovel in his face is my fault.
You threw a spoon at the guy, Jeff.
Yeah, what was up with that? Jeff. I thought it was a fork.
You're the master of cutlery. You can't throw a knife sometimes?
No, I
when someone's
can't.
trying to kill me?
You can't use a rake sometimes?
No, I'm the shovel.
Well, I'm the Blue Raja. I'm not Stab Man. I'm not Knifey Boy. I'm the Blue Raja.
I would like Stab Man, though. Stab Man is brilliant.
Is there? I'm sure there have been, little slide in 1 minute appearances of characters on The Simpsons where he gets to do that voice, but there's no regular character on The Simpsons where he gets to do that fantastic voice.
No, this and the Birdcage, I think, are the two accents you never hear him do on The Simpsons.
Okay. But then we all heard when he's also a different voice in this movie, right?
Well, when he's his regular
he's just
voice.
talking. Yeah. No,
Hank Azaria has 2 roles in this movie.
Yeah, he has himself. That's basically just his voice, though.
Blue Raja, and then at some point in the movie, he is like on the radio, or like an off-scene TV voice.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, really? There's like a reporter voice or something that he's with him.
Bizarre, because suddenly The Simpsons is coming through into Mystery Men.
Weird, because he doesn't even do Kent Brockman. He does.
No, that's what's his face? David Smalls from Spinal Tap. What's his face?
Harry Shearer. Yeah,
Harry Shearer. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm remembering all their names, but whatever. It's weird. My brain is not working right. Here's a Superman. Here's your Superman joke.
Lance Hunt wears glasses. Captain Amazing doesn't wear glasses.
He takes them off when he transforms.
That doesn't make any sense. He wouldn't be able to see.
It's pretty good. Again, it's him you got to give the credit to, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the shoveler there.
It is. Macy might be my favorite casting choice in this because he's funny but doesn't have to be funny.
Yeah. I'm in the mood for more of him right now as a result of this movie. Here is a fork joke, or his little fork back and forth.
So, seeing as it's your first night and all, I suppose I'll forgive you if you forget.
God.
I like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
The good place has ruined me for the word fork.
True story.
Yeah, you'll never think of it the same. Yeah. All right, you shovel real good, says Mom. Oh, but this is in our intro, but I'll play it again.
You shovel better than any man I've ever known.
Yeah, baby.
I shovel very well.
All right, so I didn't know this when I first heard this, but I got an odd. It was in a wave format from your mom, Brian.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was in a WGA format, and I had to convert it.
Oh my God!
Writers Guild of America format?
No, what's the one that Microsoft used to do?
WMA, the Windows
WMA. Yeah, let's say that. Yeah, because those sucked. That's like WebP format.
I was about to go on strike.
Right. Anyway, your mom sent this over. She didn't know what to do with it, so I converted it. And boy, I didn't realize this. It's labeled the 3 things Brian's 3 rules for his prom date. All right. So they had to adhere to these rules, apparently. I'll just play it. Here you go.
1, always knock. 2, don't sniff around outside my door. 3, do not interrogate me.
Okay. Yeah, that seems harsh.
Yeah. Nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Seemed a little harsh.
Well, ad rules.
What role does he play when he plays like Hank Azaria? He plays like a beach bum in one movie where he's like super buff and ripped, and he's like a trainer or something, and he's like stealing somebody's wife. I feel like it's also a Ben Stiller movie.
Right.
What is?
I was excited to see it's not The Idol. He's so in The Idol, this new thing. I really hated it. I watched half the first episode and gave up.
Right.
That's how much I hated it. But
it was them trying to do another Euphoria.
Yeah,
right?
and it's even like
as far
the
as
Euphoria
that kind
showrunner or something like that. So they were trying to do that again. But it's just really awful. And but Hank Azaria is her manager in it, and he does this really weird like Armenian accent. And he's really fantastic, but I was so annoyed. But let's see what you're thinking of. Is it Along Came Polly?
Along Came Polly,
Right.
also a Ben Stiller movie with Hank. Yeah.
I always think of his dog walker on Mad About You.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And we've seen it before. Is Godzilla the only other Hank Azaria thing?
No, he gets really shook down by the cops in the movie Heat, which we sacked.
Oh, okay.
He's just this guy who falls in love with one of the characters' wives, and oh my goodness, he has to just like sweat that movie.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, and I've said this on TMS as a recommendal, and I keep bringing it up. But if you have not seen the movie that talks about the history of the formation of Uber and Lyft, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it's called Super Pumped. It's a horrible name, but Hank Azaria plays Apple's Tim Cook.
Oh, no way, dude.
Yes.
So
And it's
weird.
fantastic. Yes.
That's hard for me to see. I need to see it.
You need to see it. It's a 3-4 episodes. It's really, it's a short series if I remember correctly, but it's fascinating. And how Joseph Gordon-Levitt can play such a hateful character is surprising for being such a seemingly lovable guy.
I just found something very shocking. I didn't know he was the voice of Harold Zoid. Zoidberg's uncle on Futurama, that old episode from like 2001. It's a fantastic episode. I didn't know he did that. He's in all sorts of crossovers here. He's Super Nintendo Chalmers and a Family Guy crossover.
Super Nintendo Chalmers.
Yeah,
as a crossover. He did a bunch of crossovers. Anyway, this guy's great. We love him. Nothing wrong with him. Let's see. Where were we? Here we are. How about this one?
Are you in the marijuana?
That's his mom's mom.
You're in the mirror.
Hey, you were in the mirror. Here's his Glaven sit on the fork! Exclamation. Yeah.
He really did. Totally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of annoys me. That's Tarzan and Jedi for me a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. I don't know why they did. Let's see. Knew you'd know. Oh, this is good. I think this is the only Kinnear audio I have.
I knew you'd know. I'd know you knew.
There you go.
Least favorite joke. Like that is such
the worst
a
joke. So hacked.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I can go under that. The joke where they see something really sexy and Ben Stiller has to say, "Oh, my pants are shrinking." Feels like my pants are shrinking.
Oh, when they're watching the women fight, the girl
Wonder
fight.
Woman, the fight of the Wonder Woman.
And Hank Azaria, they imply that the Blue Raja is not straight, right? Because he keeps, every time something comes up like that, he like looks away or
a little bit. It was subtle, but yeah.
Or maybe he's very pure or something because he still lives with his mom or something.
Kind of what I got. Yeah. Yeah.
The further I got,
his mom was Louise Lasser from Mary Hartman.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Are you in the marijuana?
That's great.
You in marijuana.
Here's a weird old lady.
Where's Sergeant 9? It's 9:25.
I love that. I forgot about that part.
Lady. Yeah.
Brian, Dunaway, you're a fan of like no one doesn't have a friend.
Exactly.
I
love
that shit.
That kind of like
I doesn't have a friend. I love that kind of shit.
Those kind of those characters.
Yeah, this is one of those for sure.
Because she's so in your
There's
face.
something about Mary, the next door neighbor with the leather
leather skin.
Yep. Here's a name I liked.
Princess Headbutt.
Princess Headbutt.
That's a great name.
Pretty good. I wanted to know what her powers were. I guess she headbutts really good. Pee-wee shows up. Here's the spleen. Here you go.
Hey, fellas. Word on the street is looking for superheroes.
I don't like that spitty voice.
You don't like the lisp?
No,
lisp
I hate it.
spitty?
I really do hate it. Like what's the Leguizamo thing in Ice Age? That voice of the sloth
Oh,
character?
He does the same thing.
I hate it. I just don't like that.
Because you don't want to be directly in front of them when they're doing that voice.
Well, sorry, Scott.
Yeah. It's just really annoying. All right, smelling it and delting it. Here's this.
Because I smelt it, she decreed I would forevermore be he who dealt it.
I actually like when he went high.
Pee-wee in my spleen.
I love it.
That was pretty good. All right, here's Dane Cook. Before everyone hated his guts, but also he was never very good. And by the way, as far as I know, no one hates Dane Cook because he did something terrible. I think most people hate him because he's just bad.
It's just
I don't think he's bad. He's just annoying and abrasive, right? That's the whole idea.
I just don't think he's funny.
Stick, right?
And his comedy isn't funny. It's funny because he runs around the stage doing goofy poses.
He yells at you. He yells at you a lot. That's the comedy, which is fine.
It's fine, but it only has a certain shelf life, I think, and that's what we're seeing now. Because he used to sell out stadiums. He doesn't do that anymore. I don't think he sells out anything now.
Well, no, he got ripped off by his brother.
Oh, well, that'll happen.
His brother went to prison for mismanaging Dane Cook's affairs.
What's his name? Lane Cook or
Lame Cook?
Lame Cook. Anyway, here's Dane Cook before all that.
All right, state your name and power.
I am the Waffler. With my griddle of justice, I bash the enemy in the head, or I burn them like so. Oh, don't do that.
Okay, I will say he was pretty good in that Steve Carell family drama called...
Oh, right. The one...
oh, help me, Brian. What is that called?
Yeah. The one where Steve Carell sings "Let My Love Open the Door" by Pete Townsend. And it's
Dan in Real Life. It's Dan in Real Life.
Dan in Real Life.
Oh, yeah.
That movie is great. I love that movie. It's really good.
He's just a dude. He's not being funny Dane Cook. He's just being...
Not trying too hard, Dane Cook. How about that?
Dane Cook.
Yeah,
I actually liked him in Shorties watching Shorties. I used to enjoy when they would do his little skits and stuff.
And you know, he does this thing that we saw in Mystery Men repeatedly. Like he's in the movie Waiting, the Ryan Reynolds movie Waiting, and he's just got a bit role. His job is to be funny, you know?
Yeah, right.
And it's fine.
I don't remember if I ever see Waiting. Was Waiting good?
I love that movie. It's so funny.
Never seen Waiting, Employee of the Month, Good Luck
Employee
Chuck.
of the Month?
Yeah. My Best Friend's Girl. I think I've just seen 20 minutes of Dane Cook's stand-up, and that was enough.
That's
all you need. That's enough for
Yeah.
you.
All you needed.
That's
oh my
all
gosh,
I
this movie, Luis Guzman, Anna Faris, Justin Long,
Which
John
was that,
Francis
Waiting?
Daly. Yeah, I've never seen
okay.
this.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not bad. It's probably a better one of all of those.
It's like a restaurant deal. Is that the thing?
It's the waiters, right?
A bunch of waiters.
Allison Pill. I love her.
That's the gimmick.
I just can't ever fault Ryan Reynolds and Anna Faris. You put those two people together 20 years ago, and it's gold.
Do you think Anna Faris wants to kick Chris Pratt right in the nuts for marrying Schwarzenegger's daughter? Do you think he's just... Because he really unceremoniously kind of dumped
He
her.
really did. He was such a, and then did that whole video about, this. It's finally great to be with the person that I was meant to be with, or something. That
That's such a dig. That's such a dig.
That's awful.
Dick move. Yeah.
Really awful. Like I don't feel like she deserved that. I mean, if things aren't working out, fine. That's everybody can have that. But I don't know. It just felt dickish. And then he was all churchy about it. And it's like, dude, I don't know. Maybe shut up. Maybe just don't talk.
Maybe shut up.
Just maybe make Guardians, because I really like you on camera. I think you're a good actor and you're funny and you do stuff. So quit being a butthole.
Yeah, maybe you don't get engaged the next year and elope a few months later.
Yeah,
you do that. You just don't talk about it. You just keep that shit to yourself.
Maybe you just don't talk. Exactly. Here's Doug Jones as Pencilhead.
Hi, I am Pencilhead.
And I am son of Pencilhead.
We erase crime.
2 generations of... Right. Yes, thank you.
2 generations of...
I mean, there are moments in this movie that are really funny and improv-y. Yeah. They kind of like, I don't know if this isn't a very good comparison, but they kind of evoke a little bit of like not John Heater, Jared Hess style.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it also feels like in essence, one of the, SNL skits where it's just every performer comes up with a funny superhero and then just enters frame, announces who they are, and then you move on.
Yeah.
Well, and also SNL does this thing where there's people who happen to be in New York City and available on Saturday night, and you walk them on to do things.
Right.
Like that's what this whole movie felt like. Anytime there was a cameo, I was like, did they just go over to the Comedy Store and grab people, drag them onto this set?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Like if it did feel like it at times. Here's one. This is a clip where the spleen is picking up on Garofalo. Enjoy.
You're really good.
What's up? I'm the spleen.
I'm the bowler. How you doing?
Very attractive.
He made me laugh. He was funny.
There must have been so much spittle.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, Paul Rubin spittle. I don't know. Rest his soul. Here's apparently this is funny.
Apparently we don't. Ass.
That's great.
Well, again, for his character, the wholesome character that he is, that feels like the worst word he could say.
Yep. I think this is Eddie Izzard doing something.
I'm the guy that gave your daddy the shaft.
Yeah, that's him. Gave him the shaft. Teamwork.
Teamwork. Yes.
All right. Okay. That was my deal, Wade. My deal. That's what he says.
Right.
All right. Here's more forks than flatulence.
You will have to have more than forks and flatulence.
Yeah. Wes Studi, baby. Doing his thing.
I mean, he's right.
No, he's right.
It's like he's generally wrong.
Yeah.
Like he's just like making stuff up. But
yeah.
That's
the Sphinx was right in that one way. You're not wrong about it being right. Here's Pee Wee yelling. That's basically Pee Wee.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. Maybe Paul Rubens doesn't know how to yell in any other cadence. I don't know.
Right. That's the scream. What can you do? You can't change who you are.
Yep.
Same exact scream that we got from him in Flight of the Navigator.
That's true.
Yeah.
Except it wasn't him, right?
Voice, the ship voice, yeah.
Hey, you didn't tell us how many Pee Wee or Paul Rubens movies we've done. How many?
That's it.
That's it. Just the two.
Flight of the Navigator is the only other one. He gets a credit in Cocaine Bear because he was on like a TV.
Yeah.
In that movie.
Yeah.
But nope, just Flight of the Navigator.
We didn't do the first Pee Wee. I thought we did Pee Wee's Big Top or something. Didn't we do?
No, I don't think we haven't done any of those.
Yeah, we haven't. How?
Nope.
I thought we did Paging Mr. Herman. I guess Brian just has done it a bunch.
And Ray just did it the same time.
Yeah, no kidding. Actually, it is a really good point because where did that come from?
We did that one. Paging Mr. Herman. We did that movie.
No, we didn't. We've not done Pee Wee.
We didn't.
Randy's wrong.
I'm telling you, Quicksack LI is then also wrong.
Quicksack is wrong.
I don't think so. Let's see.
I would like to sack a Big Top with you guys. I feel like Pee Wee's Big Adventure is just a good movie and it's just funny but like Big Top is questionable.
Yeah, there's more to tear apart there. I agree with that. I still kind of like Big Top though. Dunaway, I'm trying to find you even saying this and I can't find it.
There.
Oh, I may have found it. Hold on. Paging Mr. Herman. Here it is.
Mr. Herman, you have a telephone
No,
call.
it's the actual.
That's the actual.
I'm so
one,
good.
yeah.
Listen to me. I'm so good.
You're so good. You nailed it, man.
Spot on.
Well done, Dunaway. All right, here's a fallen fart. All right, that's that. Some pleasure is all somebody's.
Pleasure's all mine, Frankenstein.
That's CeeLo Green right there.
CeeLo Green.
Yep.
F you and F me.
Right.
Did you really not capture any of Tom Waits' like ridiculous gravelly voice?
Only the intro. I didn't bother with him much after that because that was the longest he spoke. The rest of it was little short bursts and stuff. It just wasn't.
Yeah, most of it was like him talking to himself when they come in, that kind of stuff, or him talking while he's watching TV.
Yeah, but this
I saw the action out there.
That whole thing at the beginning of the show. Here's this one. Oh, dress. This is pretty good. Check this out.
You dress in the manner of a male prostitute.
He's trying to make him furious.
Yep. Yeah. I want to go watch Mohicans after that and go.
Yeah.
Same guy said that thing.
Same guy.
Dude, that movie's so good. Oh my gosh.
Wes Studi.
I love him. Love him.
I feel like we also need to sack Deep Rising.
Oh,
in that movie.
Yeah. Dwayne, did we do Deep Rising? Have we not?
Wait
Yeah,
a minute,
it feels like
I
it.
don't think so.
Hold
Let
on.
it go.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm thinking of Deep Blue Sea. I was like, isn't that where Samuel Jackson gets eaten by a shark? But yeah, that's
Now this is hilarious because Deep
different
Rising
Deep
was the antithesis or the same year giant
The twinsy.
meteor. Yeah, the twin thing of Armageddon, and that's funny because Armageddon is the one until we finally watched it where we couldn't believe we hadn't already seen Armageddon. So
No,
now
that's Deep Impact that you're talking about.
Oh, Deep Impact, Deep Rising.
That was the other. Yeah,
Deep Rising is like Ghost Ship twin.
I don't remember this at all.
Put it.
No memory of Deep Rising. What is that? Hold on.
It's like the twinsy for Ghost Ship.
Does it come out at the same time and all that? 98? No, that sounds about right. Oh, wow. Treat Williams. Are you sure we didn't see this?
I'm positive.
Frank Jansen.
I'm
100% positive we have not sacked Deep Rising. I want to. I'll put it in Sacktober if possible.
I swear I've seen Treat Williams and Anthony Heald in the same. I was sure I'd seen this. That's going to bug me. Treat Williams just died not long ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So we was going to watch a Ray Liotta film before it got pulled, right? I mean, it's just,
right.
It's just too soon for all.
No,
this
we
stuff.
did.
We watched
Liotta.
Cocaine Bear. Isn't that enough?
Yeah, we watched Cocaine Bear. His last film is what we did.
That's right. Actually, we did. Yeah, right after he passed away.
All right, final clip. This is Pee Wee swearing, I think. I wrote, is this Pee Wee swearing? And I'm not sure because this movie was PG, maybe 13. I'm not sure. But here it is.
It's your fucking calculator!
Did he say get your
Yes.
fuck?
It's the fraculator. It's the fraculator.
Let me try it again.
It's your fucking calculator!
Okay, so he's messing up the name Fraculator.
Yeah, he's messing up the fraculator.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's your fucking calculator!
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I guess you can do one for PG.
It's hard to use yesterday fraculator. It's hard to do.
I think even the MPAA is listening to that over and over and saying, I don't know.
Yeah, nobody can understand that.
I assume, you know what I like to assume?
I think the junkyard lady uses the C word at one point, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, I got that too.
Yeah.
Okay, you did hear that. You miserable.
Yeah, I didn't capture that. I don't even know what she said 90% of the time.
Oh no, that kind of voice just kills me. I love an old lady. I love an old gravelly lady yelling at you. It just makes me so
face
happy.
looks like a raisin.
Yeah. We should get a little thread going in the Discord where somebody can find all the movies that feature that kind of characterization.
Yeah.
Then we gave you 2. There's your head start, chat room, or whoever. Just get that going. All right. Well, that, as you can tell, is the end of that. Now we have to do the checklist. Quirkier than it should be, check. Not as quirky as it could be, check.
Oh, nice. You kind of did the Sphinx there. You said one thing, you kind of reversed it. Yeah.
Fix this by shooting it right in the face with a James gun, check.
Oh,
a James Gunn.
A James Gunn, the James Gunn. Star Trek connections. I know they're here. I just know
they are. We have 2.
Oh, all right.
So our first is good old Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Pencilhead in this, and was Saru in Discovery. Also plays Saru in Short Treks. So he gets the credit there. Incredible character, by the way, on Discovery. You can't fault Star Trek Discovery for its characterizations. They are. It's truly amazing.
I agree. There's all kinds of story problems, but Saru will be forever one of my favorite Star Trek characters ever.
Yeah.
I love him.
Our other one is Jennifer Lewis. She plays Lucille here, bit role. In Star Trek Lower Decks, she is the voice of the bartender. And,
really?
The bar on Star Trek Lower Decks is such a great place to have scenes. And I just, I love that she's in there.
Thanks for the reminder that I still have not seen any Lower Decks.
Desperately need to.
Oh, wow. And
are you watching Strange New Worlds?
Shortly.
Yeah, I need to get in there, dude. I feel bad.
Are you watching Strange New Worlds?
Yes, although I'm not.
I've not seen the new season of Strange New
Okay,
Worlds.
we need to watch Lower Decks real quick for you. I mean, I have to, but it wouldn't hurt.
We know why.
Yeah.
Right.
We know why.
And Strange New Worlds just put out a musical, and it was so good. I didn't realize this until this week, but Christina Chong is a legit singer, a tremendous singer.
Yeah.
And she's carrying this season, by the way. Oh my gosh.
She the security head of security?
Yeah,
I like her a lot.
Her character is really being explored this season. Really
I
good.
love her last year, so I'm excited. I'm just letting them build up so we can binge them. The other character, I really like the. Is it? What's her name? It's like Vasquez or whatever. Who's the ship's pilot? I forget her name.
Vargas.
I love her.
Yeah, she's fun.
She's great. That show's great.
And she has to do a little singing in the musical, and she's not really. She's not cut out for it, but she does fine.
Right. I didn't know this would be involved in my filming of.
Yeah, there's a couple of other actors who need some auto tune in order to make it happen, and it's a little bit cringy, but it's
when
fun.
you're signing up for a Star Trek series, you're not thinking.
No, you're not like. There's not. You don't feel like you have to ask in the meeting. There isn't going to be any singing in this, is there?
Right.
Jess Bush, who plays Nurse Chapel, she got some lungs. That woman can sing.
Oh, really?
She's one of my favorite characters.
Another Australian.
I just like her.
Yeah, she's awesome. These Australian actors, I don't know where they come from or why they're so great.
Australia.
I guess they do.
Oh, it's true. They do come from.
I guess they do come from there, but they come from.
You do know where
stock.
they came from.
Yeah, I lied the entire time. All right. Well, excellent. Those are our connections. Wait, we did two of them or just the one? What did you say? Did you get two?
Two. Jennifer Lewis and Doug
Jones.
Jones.
Two.
Oh, Doug Jones. Yeah, duh. All right. Well done. Let's now move on to the social media post. I refuse to call it Twitter anymore because F this. Those guys are buttholes and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
So let's get that social media post wherever you post them. I'm still giving you a 280 character limit, though. That's just the rules. You got to pay me $8 a month to get any more. All right, that's the deal. So let's sum it up in those 280s, and let's start this time with I don't know, Randy.
Mystery Men. I want to be the very best. Want to enforce the laws. To battle evil is my test. To shovel is my cause. This guy right here, he has no game. Somehow he gets the girl. This other girl we must proclaim is the hero of our world. What's our name? Why can't we have a moniker? What's our name? We sure could use a good chronicler. What's our name? Oh, we have no shame. Spleens bad farts, they kill and maim. Oh, Mystery Men.
Wow. Poetry. It's special. Yeah. It's powerful stuff. Well done. Let's go now to Brian Dunaway, please.
Mystery Man, like a curious skunk making love to Pee Wee Herman's leg in silhouette. Just let it happen. Hashtag, I know you are, but what am I?
Nicely done. Good tribute, too. Yes, we do miss Paul Rubens terribly. I want to go watch some old Pee Wee's Playhouse. Pee Wee's Playhouse is so good. Man, I'm going to watch it. All right, moving on to our final person, and that would be Brian Ibbett.
It always scares me that you're just going to go on to the next segment of the show.
Yeah.
He's going to forgive me. Mystery Men. Too many comics in your comic-based movie makes for something not comical.
Oh,
nicely done. Right. Yep. Well done. The Sphinx is right twice today.
Yeah.
You did it.
Can you laser blast these guns? Thanks, man.
Yeah. Did you ever see Geronimo back in the day? He's really good in that. He plays Geronimo. It's a very serious
Only
movie,
Geronimo I know of is Tweaky.
And it's not the yell, you know how people just yell Geronimo? Here it is.
Yeah.
Geronimo, an American legend, Wes Studi, Jason Patric, Gene Hackman, Robert Duvall. It's a big cast. It's worth seeing. At the time, people thought it was too overlong, but I like a big, long, historical Western, so that didn't bother me.
I think its problem was that it came out right after Last of the Mohicans.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And it just feels like, I don't know, like pandering. I don't know. Like
maybe a little bit.
Its existence feels like pandering. I'm not saying it's actually pandering.
Directed by Walter Hill, one of his final films. That guy was a legend. Oh, no, he's still alive. I'm sorry. Walter Hill's still around. But he did like 48 Hours, produced Aliens. What else did he do? He wrote Streets of Fire. Remember Streets of Fire?
I do remember that.
Remember
Deadwood stuff. He's great. Anyway, Geronimo.
Really young Matt Damon.
Yeah, very young Matt Damon. Very early role job for him. And I want to say this was what year? This is like 93. Yeah, same year as Jurassic Park and the dinosaurs. All right.
Jurassic Park and the dinosaurs. That sounds like a band.
Make that movie much later than it is.
That's hey, I think that's a testament to how important it was.
So. Yeah.
Today's alternate titles, I've just been handed these. These were just handed to me, if you can believe it. It was almost called Misery Men, but they thought that was maybe a little too dour. So the final choice, or the second to final choice, was Missed Opportunity Men. which I would have gone with. Let's get to the. We got a voicemail to play here. This is some SAC recommendations. We always like getting these. This was sent to 801-471-0462, and it goes like this.
Hello, my film scroters. Nick from Springfield, Mass. here. Had 2 movie recommendations that I think would do wonderfully on the show. They're both on Netflix. First one, Dracula Untold, 2014 movie starring Luke Evans.
Ooh.
It feels very much like it was supposed to be the start of a Universal Monsters MCU kind of deal.
It was.
Luke Evans is all right in it. The plot is just cream of the crop for film sack. Vampires. The king from Warcraft's in it. He's the king in this movie too, which is weird because I always remember him as the funny future son-in-law from Mamma Mia. Anyway, second movie, much better. Just saw it. No, not much better. Lie. 65 million years ago, starring Adam Driver.
Oh yeah, 65.
Very weird sci-fi movie, but it's a quick 90 minutes. You guys would. It feels like film sack material. Honestly, it's a perfect kind of blend of sci-fi and weird spoofs. I can see Dunaway making the wildest, weirdest intro ever, and I would honestly just really curious what song Brian Ibbott would pick for his cover for the intro to 65 million years ago. But anyway, love the show though. Thanks guys, you guys are great. Bye.
Yeah, 65 is like up. We're going to do it, right? We're
it's on our list. Yeah.
We gotta
By the way,
do that. Yeah.
The king from Warcraft, King Lane Rin, is Dominic Cooper.
Yeah, Dominic Cooper's done all kinds of stuff. I loved him in Preacher, that Preacher show. Really
yes.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, he was so good.
Yeah, he's great.
Comic book adaptation done perfectly.
Oh yeah, dude. How'd they pull that off? You know what sounds great? This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing's on fire.
Oh, I can't wait.
God, it's beautiful. It's like visually just...
It looks insane,
like,
but the reviews, they're just 96, 97% audience matches it. Like, it looks like a no frickin' brainer. I keep hearing the Ice Cube role is one of the best villains ever. I gotta go. I
might have to do a little bit of a... might have to do a Turtenheimer.
Yeah, do a Turtenheimer. Turtenheimer.
It's just stop trying to make Turtenheimer a thing.
I'm telling you, the weirdest, quietest rise to Hollywood royalty has been Seth Rogen over the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, like his humble beginnings and his vapid weed use, but he's always involved in projects that are like killer. Like
I don't understand it.
Produced by Seth Rogen and his buddy Evan Goldberg. Those dudes, you know, I mean, when did they start working? I think Superbad, maybe. But just nothing but hits. A few, you know,
garbage comic adaptation with Green Hornet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was bad. Well, now you've knocked him down 2 notches. That's fine.
Comedian is your Green Hornet. Bad idea.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Not happy about it. Still, that movie sucked. All right, there we go. Then where are we now? Oh, that's it for that's what we had today. Was a call. That's what we did. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. 801-471-0462, or you can email us filmsack@gmail.com. I would like to call out some fine folks who joined us on Patreon because this is the best name we've ever gotten. 2 new folks this week. This guy's name is Indiana Jones, the adventurer with well-known groans, once tried to play the xylophone using ancient artifact bones. That's his name.
Wow.
Randy.
They let you do that in Patreon?
Apparently that field is really big.
Yeah, it's huge.
More characters than X lets you have.
Yeah. And that's just the first. There's a slot for first name or nickname. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Really? So nothing for the last name, just empty?
Yep, that's it. And I'd love it. So thank you for that. Also, Max, someone who just has a normal name, Max Chonard.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm trying not to say Chodnard, but
Chodnard.
I'm sure they appreciate that.
I'm sure they've had this before, but anyway, these guys joined us this week over at patreon.com/filmsack. They get monthly host specials. Oh, who's up this month anyway? Who's
It's me.
Oh, I can't wait. I remember you hinted at something. I don't know if you want to say here, but what was the thing? Or do you
Time
want to
Loop
say?
movies? Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I like that.
Brian is a Go ahead.
I'm actually going to do just one time loop movie, so stick around. You'll get that episode at some point.
All right, awesome. Yeah, sometime in the month of August, it will be your day. I did last month. He's got this month. We got everybody does them once a month. We love doing them. I also send art in the mail. We also got pre-show content every week. We also have no ad feed on the Patreon for all the shows, including this one. So get in there, get that done, and be a part of the family. Patreon.com/filmsack. Our next movie will be, Randy, I don't know what it is. What are we doing?
We're going to watch 65, the new.
That's right.
Look at that.
Go.
Look at that.
Right there.
Nailing it.
Right.
You won't have to wait too long to figure out what theme song I use for my cover. I can't wait to find out myself.
What happened to Village of the Damned? Did that get pulled? Or did we?
Yeah, so that is no longer on any streaming.
And Enter the Dragon, same deal, right?
Enter the Dragon is, but we got a little bit of shuffle happening, and I'll explain why.
I only asked that because I have this.
Enter the Dragon.
I have like Fletcher files for stuff that got pulled, and I'm keeping them in case those movies come back. But it's just kind of funny how that worked out.
Absolutely, we're going to be sacking Enter the Dragon relatively soon.
Yeah.
65 is next.
As soon as we can get it in there. Anyway, next week, 65. It's not an age. It's something else. I don't know what it means in the movie. But
it's nothing but a number.
Yeah. You can hear him say, I'll finish what I started from here.
That's right.
Yes. Anyway, that's next week. That's on Netflix. So please catch it if you'd like to do your homework. In the meantime, filmsack.com is our website. Again, patreon.com/filmsack if you want to support the show. But all links are at filmsack.com. So go check it out. That's going to do it for us, for me, for Brian, and for Randy.
I am a ticking time bomb of fury.
Oh, my Lord. We'll see you next time.
Get more at frogpants.com.
I'm the guy that gave your daddy the shaft.
Mmm.